The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our spooky humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024, this program starts now. Football is awesome. There was a doubleheader last night for Monday Night Football where the Ravens beat the Bucs. There's going to be a lot to talk about there. The Ravens are kind of on a historic run right now offensively if you dive into the stats. And then for the Bucs, they lose two massive playmakers on their team. What are they going to look like going forward? We don't know. Then the Cardinals beat the Chargers. There was a pissed off Jim Harbaugh. There was a lot of good field goals. And we'll have Dahn Orlovsky, who was on the call, joining us in about 10 minutes or so to let us know what happened in that game.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because that was the
other
game.
Yeah, that was the dumpy one.
That was the other game. A lot of good moments.
Of course.
Field goal kickers on display, brother.
Crushed
Okay, you need to have a little bit more respect for that entire thing. Jim Harbaugh walking the sidelines, back after having a 250 to 300 heartbeats per minute situation happen on the field a week ago. He's back out there, and guess what? He's pissed.
Yeah.
He's absolutely pissed. Herbert's able to make plays with literally anybody, seemingly, and then inevitably in the end, Mr. Ryland knocks through another one for the Arizona Cardinals, who are going to win over the Chargers. What else happened in that game that we need to know? Dahn Orlovsky will join us to tell us all about that. The Talks Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty Schmidt, listen, it's Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
It is.
Fresh off that New York Jets game with the Steelers. How do you think today goes with Aaron? What do you think the topic of conversations are going to be?
You know, it should be interesting. I think everyone probably assumes it's going to be, hey, doom and gloom. Always is. You know, a lot of people taking shots at him from the videos that surfaced on Sunday night saying, hey, the Jets season's going down the tubes, going up in flames, and all this guy cares about is picking his bugs and eating them, which I think is a little low-hanging fruit, taking shots at him when they don't need to.
What are you talking about?
There it is. People cherry-picking that video. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. I mean, that was a big part of the discussion.
How do we not know something just was floating through the air, tickled his nose, and then hit his mouth? Oh, a little tickle, and then a little tickle to the lip.
That's exactly what I was assuming. I mean, you guys, you've talked about this. A guy like Rodgers, too, guess what? He's well aware that the camera is going to be on him damn near the entire time he's on the field. So I don't think he's just going to be picking his bugs and eating them all willy-nilly on the sidelines, especially when they're getting beat by 20-plus points.
Okay, early looked good for the Jets, and obviously the second half, Russell Wilson and Pittsburgh Steelers did their thing. I'll be excited to see and hear what his mindset is and how he feels about the game as a whole. And then Devontae, obviously, back in the building. What has that been like? One half of the hammer, Cowboys, AP, Tone. You're a diehard Steelers fan. You guys got your quarterback. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless.
You know who else is in the AFC North?
Who?
Oh, they're good.
Who?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Did you watch last night as an AP voter and think to yourself, wow, this might be the first time, I think, since like 1990-something, where the quarterback might win MVP and the running back might win Offensive Player of the Year? That has only happened with Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk.
Wow.
Yeah, that has only happened with them, and I think it happened twice. Are you ready to do that as a voter of an AFC North team that has been a freak show offensively? They're running it all over the yard. Now, remember at the beginning of the season, John Harbaugh came out, and he said, we're not going to be having Derrick Henry run the ball 30, 45 times.
No.
He's the 327th highest paid guy in the entire NFL. Okay, he's not going to be just our team's going to go on his back. We got a lot of other weapons. We want to keep him around for the long haul. That's not what our team's going to be. And then they started doing that, and they started realizing, hold the phone. Maybe Derrick Henry, Patrick Ricard, and Lamar Jackson in the same backfield is an unstoppable force. And then you add in two very good tight ends. And then a couple wide receivers. Bateman goes bananas last night after Zay gets hurt, but Zay's still there in existence. You have a multitude of weapons at your disposal if you're the Baltimore Ravens, and we should use them all. And we should understand that if this one of one can get rolling.
What?
Everything else is wide open.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson's pass game, I think it's like the 5th highest of all time for his QBR or rating or something. If it was to finish this year, their yards per play would be like all time if it was to stop at this time. Their amount of success they're having would be like all time. They're like the greatest show on turf right now offensively. And as soon as Derrick Henry signs with the Ravens, a lot of us go, this feels like cheating.
Yeah.
This feels like the perfect match. Seemingly at the beginning, Harbaugh didn't even know how great it was going to be. But now Derrick Henry looks like prime Derrick Henry. He was doing an interview yesterday on that Monday Night Countdown show, and they showed all the things and how he eats. He's a vegan. There's no dairy. He's got no fried foods. His workouts are obviously bananas every single offseason. So as he gets older and we see more of him being great, especially at the running back position, I think the natural reaction is to be like, well, he's going to slow it down. He lost it. Titans just let him go.
Yeah.
He was a pillar for the Tennessee Titans. It was he who was the one who had them going to the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoff game, and then Tannehill gets a $50 million contract. He gets a 2-year deal as well. He was the Tennessee Titans. They just let him out. Jerry Jones said, we don't have enough money to afford Derrick Henry. We apologize. We just don't. How would you feel if he was your running back at this age, seemingly next year, the year after that, and forever? Whenever Derrick Henry wants to play football, this dude is a monster.
Yep.
And it's fun to watch him roll.
Truly.
And this Baltimore Ravens team seemingly has the perfect mindset to have Derrick Henry as their running back, which is why whenever the signing happened, it should have been stopped. Should have been deemed illegal because this Ravens team is tough, physical, talented, loaded, and on defensive side of the ball, they got young bucks ready to roll.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh's got a squad. And I think the way he was introduced by Joe Buck last night, whenever they showed him on the sideline, he was looking up at the Jumbotron. He said, John Harbaugh's been here for 18 years or whatever it's been. Now he's trying to win with this era of the team. And you start thinking about how long Harbaugh's been there. You go back to the OGs. Ed Reed last night was on with the Banners. He has thoughts about the Guardian cap.
Sure.
Whoa.
You go Ray Lewis,
Yeah.
T. Sizz, the Joe Flacco era, obviously all of that. Harbaugh's been there for all these different iterations. This particular team is the one that is being asked, like, is Lamar ever going to win a Super Bowl? That's the question. And that's the team that Harbaugh is coaching right now. For their quarterback to win a Super Bowl, feels like they got it this year. So AP Tone, are you going to be able to be non-biased? And are you going to be able to recognize the greatness that's happening in Baltimore right in front of your face in the AFC North, AP Tone?
Of course I will. Lamar is in my top 3 right now as far as MVP is concerned. I can't say he's number 1, D-Butts, because then I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah, he has...
You got the vote. I don't. I'm just listening.
I saw your eyes go up when I said top 3. I'm not allowed to say top 1.
Yeah, he's not allowed to say I'm picking this guy.
No.
That's actually one of the rules he's not allowed to do. So he has to do like a small group.
Yeah,
Small,
Tom Brady got in trouble
Golf
for last year.
Derrick
McAfee.
Henry is in my top 4 for Offensive Player of the Year. Yes, they are incredible. They are moving at a pace that you couldn't even imagine. So, no, I will not be biased in my voting. If the season were to end today, they'd both be on my ballot, okay?
Wow.
And what are you saying? What are you saying about the long haul? You're saying you're thinking.
Well, I can't predict.
Will they be able to?
I can't predict the future.
Will they be able to uphold this success? Is that what you're questioning?
No,
See, these are the AP voters.
Yeah,
No.
This is what
I
we're
don't-
talking about.
I don't
if you
doubt
will.
that they
Yeah, a
are
little
going
bit.
to continue their greatness.
Just like that.
Very slant.
Forward slide.
Outside the
Fair.
division, I don't know what they're going to do against the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers are 7-1 against them in the last 8 games. But look at right there.
It's a good list.
It's on
Right
the
there.
graphic. AP Tone's award watch list. Remember, AP Tone has an AP vote at the end of the season somehow. We're all wondering how, but we all think it's hilarious, and he is taking it seriously. Here's the watch list currently as we sit at this moment. Derrick Henry, obviously up there for Offensive Player of the Year. Could be MVP if you really wanted to dive into it, but we all understand, and even AP Tone understands, that the MVP is normally going to go to it's going to go to quarterback.
That's right.
Yep.
That's the most valuable position, literally and figuratively. They're paying them the most, and also they're getting the ball every single play. So the quarterback is always going to be there. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, who's been injured a little bit. What are his numbers going to look like at the end of the year? Will they be able to match up for an award? But Derrick Henry, this guy, historic pace, 9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, which is coming later today.
Can't wait.
Darius J. Butler is here.
Yes,
D-Butch.
sir.
Derrick Henry. He was at the Titans, obviously, whenever we were at the Colts.
Yep.
You see him in person, you do this, and then he walks by you and you go, holy shit, that's He's broad as a barn.
Looks
This
fake.
guy is,
Doesn't look real.
And then when he gets rolling at the Titans, it was always like first quarter might not be great, second quarter might not be great, third and fourth quarter though, inevitably they're going to pound the rock. It's going to get there. For the Ravens, it's been like early. Like he starts going early, and then he continues to go, and then he has like an 80-yarder in the third quarter. Still, it's like this has been a perfect fit between team, culture, and player, seemingly with Derrick Henry and the Baltimore.
Yeah, even last night, he kind of took him a little bit to get going. He split some time back there with Justin Hill. He gets a lot of touches, especially in the red area. But you know, at some point, he's going to break the big one. Fourth quarter, he always weighs on the defense. And it's just the different dynamics that the offense brings. When Lamar's under center, they're in I formation. They got Patrick Carter in the field. You got to be ready for the big boy shit. And then when Lamar's in the gun and he kind of gets involved with the quarterback run game, you got to try to match that speed, which you really can't. And like Zay Flowers, baiting and making plays. Even Mark Andrews the last 2-3 weeks, he's gotten more involved in the pass game. Just everything that they're doing on offense. And Lamar, as a whole, as a player, you talked about Flacco playing his best ball when he was playing with the Colts. Lamar has won 2 MVPs. He's led the league in passing touchdowns before, but he's taken his game to a whole nother level. Like the whole narrative of make him beat you from the pocket, make him beat you with his arm, it's dead. It's over. He's taking that next step from the passing game, and obviously you know what he can do with his legs. And on the defensive side, great in the defensive stopping the run game. Still some holes in the pass game, and then Marlon Humphrey, we'll see how banged up he is. He had 2 huge interceptions, taking the touchdown off the board and then getting this one right here right before the 2-minute drill. So big-time plays from him on the defense side of the ball. But this team right now, they're at Van Noy with another sack. You know, him still balling. Like this whole team.
KVN.
Another one, yeah.
At the sack ATM.
Yeah.
Kyle Van Noy's cashing in. Good for him.
Great for him.
Pump for him. Pump for these Ravens. Listen.
They look good.
Everything that is held over Lamar Jackson's head is that he can't go. And then last year against the Chiefs, they're what, half a yard?
Yeah.
Half a yard.
Punch out.
You know? And it's, that's Lamar, you can't do it. It's like, well, do you want me to just go down and recover the fumble? I don't know what you want from me. It's like same thing that was happening with Kirk Cousins about some situations. And it was like, well, actually, if you look, not bad. Now, against the Chiefs, they had that game won. Obviously, you fumble that and you throw the ball 70 times or whatever the last 2 playoff games that you lost. You kind of go away from your identity, whatever the case is. It's like this team built to go.
Yeah.
This team's deep, too. They are deep at very important positions. And it's like Derrick Henry's health is going to be vital. Lamar Jackson's health is going to be vital. But everything else, it's like they're going to be able to win games regardless. Yeah. Congrats to the Ravens faithful.
Yeah.
Expectations.
Hey, Ronnie. Congrats, Ronnie.
That's the expectations for Lamar. With everything that he's accomplished, everything that he's done, that is going to be hey, you got to win the Super Bowl. It was the same thing with Peyton. Like, he couldn't get past the Patriots forever. Then he got a Super Bowl. But, you know, it's going to be the same thing for Lamar. A couple of MVPs, got to get over that hump. That game, the AFC Championship game, it was that fumble, but it was also the lack of a run game. And it was like, you know, not only from Lamar, but from the game, they didn't call a bunch. So he got to get over that hump, and I think he will.
Yeah, it looks like this could be the team that does it, and they would be fun. The Super Bowl, the world that watches the Super Bowl and no other games, getting a chance to watch Lamar Jackson would be sweet.
Yeah,
definitely.
And get a chance to watch Derrick Henry would be sweet. Imagine people in some country that don't speak our language turning on the Super Bowl. Every year we watch one game, right here, yep, everybody comes in. Derrick Henry starts running. Go, what the fuck?
How?
What is that? We don't have any of those.
The trick play?
We don't have. And then Lamar starts shaking and sliding. They're like, when they add this to football?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Something brand new. Interesting dynamic with what that team has because they're very physical, but then they got the sizzle as well.
Oh, yeah.
They got the steak and they have the sizzle at the same time. Yeah. Entertaining football. Must-watch football. Now, last night on the other side there, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you lose 2 very important pieces to your offensive puzzle. Mike Evans early. He gets hurt with a hamstring, is seemingly what it was. And they said, I guess he had a banged up hamstring going in. There's a chance that the face mask hit the hamstring and rebound. His foot is out of his cleat there, and he's grabbing his hammy and straightening his leg as if it's like a cramp. It was like almost like, I thought a chance it was a cramp, but it locks up straight up and he grabs it immediately. Yeah. So obviously injures his hamstring. He was able to walk off, which is good. But that was obviously a situation not great for Bucs fans. And then Godwin late. Okay, he snaps his leg pretty much. That is, and in the cart as he was getting carted off, he said back to work or something like that. Like obviously Chris Godwin is a guy that everybody wants on their team. And Godspeed, we're pulling for you're a beast. phenomenal football player.
Yes.
Phenomenal football player, very good at football. Obviously been unlucky a couple times, last night being one of them. But then after the game, Coach Bowles was asked about Godwin even being in the game at that time to begin with, and here's the interaction.
Isn't that even more, perhaps, important to preserve Chris for the Falcons and Mike's possibly not going to play?
Well, you could say that because he got hurt. We don't second guess. We got our guys. We're playing everybody we got. It's unfortunate he got hurt. We feel bad about that, but he's a football player and he wanted to be in the game just like Baker and everybody else wanted to be in the game.
Okay, so the way it was framed is Mike hurt, obviously. Do we want to save Chris for next week? Division.
Right.
Division opponent, much bigger game. Let's go back to the situation here because obviously I fell asleep and then I watched it again this morning. And then it wasn't until I looked online that I even heard that this was even a potential thing. They're down 41-18, so everybody could think the game's over. Okay, 3:48. This game's done. Ravens have absolutely crushed them. Because I think even garbage time was being mentioned when they were like, why is Chris on the field during garbage time? It's like, well, touchdown, onside kick.
Yeah, big one.
Onside kick, great kick. Got the high hop at the right time, was able to whoop, whoop. Somebody like a shortstop with an air. Then what does Baker do with it? Well, he goes down the field. We're going to score a touchdown again. All of a sudden, it's 41-31 with look how much time. Minute 58 left. Okay. So they're down 10 points in this entire thing. He ends up getting hurt with like 51 seconds left. Down 10. It's like down 10. You just had an onside kick happen. Down 10 is a long field goal. They're at like 40, 45 whenever he gets hurt there, Chris Godwin. If they're able to get like 15 more yards there in the next play, which they could, long field goal, all of a sudden you're down touchdown, onside kick, couple Hail Marys. Now you're out a couple of your weapons, obviously not going to be. But like the way it was being framed as if this thing was over was wild. They almost had a miraculous comeback. Yeah. And then they're asking Todd Bowles, like, did you think about telling Chris Godwin while you're down 10 with about a minute and a half left? Like, you know what, next week's when we're going to do it. It's like, nobody's thinking of that. So I guess it was because Schrager put out a tweet saying that you could only onside kick twice in the fourth quarter, but that was not true.
Yeah, he had like a back and forth with some guy, and it was the same conversation. Like, why is Godwin even still in the game? Because you can only declare 2 onside kicks. And Triggs was like, "Oh, I wasn't aware of that." Guy screenshotted the rule. Turns out that is not a rule. Obviously,
yeah, that wouldn't be a rule. So, like, why did everybody just think that was over? Like, obviously, 10 points at that time, 51 seconds left. Like, and with how the game was at 41-18, you could clearly think like, okay, it's over. But is it? You know, that's not how Baker's thinking.
At all.
That's not how Bowles is thinking. That's not how Godwin's thinking. They're thinking like, we get in field goal range, hit a long ball here. All of a sudden, we're only down 7. We need another one of those high hops, and then anything can happen.
Ravens have given up leads. That's kind of been their thing the last couple of years.
Exactly. So why was that even? I don't even know why that was even a conversation. Once again, not happy Godwin got hurt. And our sources at the league have told us that they're watching that play to see if that was a hip drop tackle that potentially broke Chris Godwin's leg, which would lead obviously to a fine and anything else that's going in that. So this is the new hip drop tackle thing that is probably going to be, I don't want to say made an example of if it was, but this probably falls into one of the situations. And also the reason why, if it ends up being a hip drop tackle, the NFL will say this is exactly why we made this rule. Because these types of players in these types of games, we can't be losing because that's a devastating injury. That's going to be a long time to come back, and Chris Godwin will obviously put in the work. But down 10, minute left, they're just like, I didn't really understand it.
It's still a game. It's you know, and it's not little league. You see a lot of games around the league week in and week out where it's pretty much over, but starters are still out there. And almost one of the rules of thumb is like if the starting quarterback's out there, everybody else is probably going to be out there. You know what I mean? So Baker was still out there obviously playing. He had took a hit, and I think Troy had just said, like, hey, you know, I know you're still trying to fight, but you want to get out of here as well. So Troy was kind of thinking it too, so I'm sure that probably got the narrative going. But you're still fighting. Anything is possible. We've seen strange things happen. I think the Ravens are the only team in the NFL to give up 2 onside recoveries now this season. So that was probably part of it as well. So, but like Coach Bowles said, it is an unfortunate part of football. Obviously, you know, the physicality, injuries are going to happen. It's shitty that it happened to Chris Godwin, especially during a career year. They're going to need him even more down the stretch. But it is a part of the game, unfortunately. And I know a lot of people watching it, it's garbage time. But, hey, when you're out there playing, you're only going in with 40-something people suited up. You got your guys out there. You're going to play until zeros are on the clock.
Imagine they come back and win that game.
Yeah.
You know, like
anything can happen
for all of football. For not just for them, for all of football. A Monday Night Football game, 41-18, 3 minutes left. Think about it. They still talk about Peyton and Colts down in Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was a Monday night game, fourth quarter. I think 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Peyton comes back and wins. I think Vandy hits a game winner or something like that, or something along those lines. They still run and talk about it here in Indianapolis, like biggest comeback in Monday Night Football. I think the stadium was empty at the time because of how big of a blowout it was, and they come back and win. It's like that's what is being preached on the sideline.
We're just the stupid football people. We're just the players, people that just been out. We're not the people who, it was probably a 99.9% probability.
I saw one of those. I saw one of those. It was what are those? A triple diamond? What's the really double black? One of those things was a stats analytics 99.9, and then that thing was a triple black diamond, like the face over there at what's that place called in Maryland? Whistler? No.
Wisp. Wisp is Maryland. West Virginia is.
Anyways, only time I've ever gone skiing was maybe inebriated. I guess that is what skiing is. Is what I was
part of.
Big time.
So I get off the carrier thing, and I just kind of mosey.
Snowshoe,
there it is. I just kind of mosey right down. And boy, that fucker just disappeared. I mean, I never.
You went from the double black?
Yeah, I guess. I think I was led astray by some people.
Very much so.
Yeah, but there was a few of us that did not know where we were headed. I will say, I was not the only one that was surprised by it. But that thing went just like this. I mean, we were at the top of it. And it was like a movie, literally. Like one person goes down, and then all of a sudden it's a yard sale, bum, 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 bum. Then it gets smaller and smaller as they're going. It's like, holy shit, Tripp was much taller just like 10 seconds ago. He's way down there. And then all of a sudden, Reed goes down, boom, about halfway. Boom. I was the last one. I was scared to death. I'm not doing this. And I fucking locked in. Straight, just like the movies.
Yep.
Locked in just like this. Just went straight down. Could not stop.
Speed.
Straight through. You know that area where the people are like kind of going back and forth down at the bottom?
Yep.
Yeah, not.
See ya.
I'm coming through. That was it. That's the last time I ever skied in my life. I've never felt that scared. I was terrified.
But you did it
control.
I was terrified. But anyways, that was the fucking those stats and analytics. It was 99.9, I think, for a team. And then bang, just straight down it goes. It's like, oh, so you're telling us that sometimes these projections are not accurate? Down 10, a minute left? Anything can happen there.
Yeah.
Legitimately, especially if you look at how easy they were kind of rolling there at the end of that game.
And we just saw last week, Godwin against the Saints. Like they're in that same field position. He catches a pass, he breaks like 6 tackles and goes for a 55-yard touchdown. Like it could have happened in a blink of an eye. And then you get another field goal, and then you only need a couple yards, and we're looking at overtime. Like with the way the NFL is now too. Like it's not how it used to be. Like we see this. I mean, you shouldn't say all the time, but like we see this way more often with teams coming back from multiple possessions to tie the game to go into overtime or win than we have in the last 10 years. Like it's not over until it's over.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the man who called the Cardinals-Chargers game. I'll tell you what, it was good.
Yeah, barn burner.
I don't know. Somebody makes sound there indicating it wasn't a good game.
That was Butch.
No, I didn't. It was a good game. Okay. Herbie was spinning it.
Yeah, it was. To who? Anybody.
Yeah.
That's Herbie football.
Whoever has hands.
That is. Kickers, balling, Dicker the kicker, just say, you know what, I got it. Oh, God, I'll score every point.
Stroking them.
And then Ryland says, you know what, I'll end the game. How about that?
Yeah.
Call his game over there in Arizona.
That's what he does.
Big time win. You know who was on the call?
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Chris Fowler.
Of course.
Lewis Riddick was right next to him. And then Dan Orlovsky. Hello. How you doing, bud? Where are you at?
I am in a hotel watching, no offense, Ty, I'm watching Jordan Love's interceptions right now.
That's okay. They won.
I'm in a hotel in New York. Just took the red eye back. What's going on?
Well, thanks for putting in the effort of getting out of the desert of Arizona. How nice is that place, by the way? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That place is
I want to move to Arizona, but only for like 100 days a year, I feel.
I think that's how everybody does it.
Yeah.
I think it's how everybody does it. It is beautiful out there. Absolutely beautiful. Awesome. It would be the easiest place, I think, to sign big-name free agents because I think they have all the things you could possibly need, wonderful views, perfect weather, Sometimes. I mean,
Right.
when it's unbearably hot, you got it. Golf, you name it. They get a massive win last night, and I think there's some stats floating around about Kyler not being able to win back-to-back games for a while and what they've been. And I think he's 10-22 in some certain. I mean, there was a lot of stats about Kyler last night that came out that I did not know. That I guess not a lot of wins have been taking place. You've got a chance to chat with them, obviously getting to call the game. How do you feel about the Cardinals? What was this win for them like yesterday? And do they have what it takes to go and win? Because I believe it was said last night they're never going to win Super Bowl. I think that is what Swagoo said. I think that's what Swagoo said.
Yeah, I was really impressed by Arizona because they're so depleted at really both sides of the line of scrimmage. You know, part of the reason why the Cardinals haven't or Kyler hasn't had a ton of the wins is their drafts. Like, if you look at just their defensive roster, the talent that they have in their defensive roster, it's not high end when it comes to draft picks. The last impactful person on their defense that they drafted was Budda Baker. And that was, I think, 7 or 8 years ago. They drafted Zach Allen, but he no longer is on the team. He's on the Broncos. So, you just looked at the roster and defensively and some of the, they took a young man, Robinson, out of Missouri this year that's supposed to be going to be a really good player, but he's been on IR. And so going into the game, I really expected the Chargers to dominate the line of scrimmage. And, dude, sitting with Jonathan Gannon, who's their head coach, I don't know if you guys have ever talked to him. He is an absolute madman. Madman.
I love him. You got that fire in your gut?
Mm-hmm. Do you?
You got that fire in your gut?
Did you take the bus to the game?
No, he took the red eye. It wasn't a bus.
I took the red eye.
These are all quotes from Coach Gannon that we're telling you. You're welcome. You can use them as your own going forward research on the head coach. We've never talked to him, though. These are all videos that the Arizona Cardinals social media team have put out about Coach Gannon that have made us go, wow, this guy's electrifying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He actually was addressing the team, and he said, who drove here today?
Show hands.
Who walked? Who took the bus? Nobody.
Yeah.
It was a shame.
I was. They physically set the tone. Their defense physically set the tone against the Chargers, and then Kyler made some plays with his feet that were huge. You know, James Conner and Kyler basically put the team on their back, and James Conner willed some of the fumble that he knocks out off the early interception. That probably takes points off the board. Taylor, the corner DB, he gets beat over the top. He comes back and punches the ball out at the front pylon. That takes points off the board. So, but Kyler made some big plays, late in the game. And, when we were talking to Kyler getting ready for the game, it was one of those meetings where, I asked him, Kyler, 6 games into the season, what have you liked offensively? And he said, well, we've run the ball well, and I like that. But,
you like that?
And I was like, okay. And he's like, I need the ball more. I need to impact the game more. And initially, I didn't know necessarily how to take it because I was like, you guys are running it well, though. And then, after I thought about it a little bit longer, it was the desire for him to, have the ball in his hands more, especially in those crucial moments. And I think you saw that last night. I don't think that they're deep enough talent-wise to go on a big run, but I do know if they want any shot of going on a big run. Yeah, this is the play to Connor. Just an unbelievable play late in that game. Just phenomenal effort. I will say this. If they're going to go on a run, they got to find a way to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the football more. They just don't throw him the ball at times. And I don't know if it's call. I don't know if it's situation. I don't know if it's Kyler. But they'll need to do that more.
Okay, so Marvin Harrison Jr. was up last night. Couldn't really tell early. Seems like that finished the story there. Kyler Murray against San Francisco. Obviously, he had that run where as soon as he breaks through the first line, he actually calls it. It's like a 45-yarder. Then he just had that same thing last night. Is that what he's referring to? It's like, hey, I would like to because he's moving.
Yeah.
He is moving. And obviously, we've seen the plays where he extends a play and he runs around for 45 seconds or whatever and does it. The touchdown breakaway speed shit, I don't think we've seen a lot from Kyler. Is that what he's referring to? Is that what he's talking about, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the creating big plays. This offense hasn't had a ton of them, and they, again, they drafted Marvin for a reason. Michael Wilson's a good receiver of theirs, and I think he's going to be a really nice pro, but he's still young in his second year. And I think Kyler's like, yo, just give me the ball a little bit more. As much as we love to play the patient run game, and James is a big part of who we are, if we want to win games, because of some of the makeup of our roster. Like, I'm going to have to do some Kyler stuff. And I do think he's kind of – and, Pat, I don't know if he is one of the most self-confident people you'll ever meet, man. Like, that dude believes in himself as much as anybody you'll come across.
I love that. He just got a Call of Duty thing, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Big partnership.
Yep.
And he said, you guys' tweets got me another bag.
This is great,
Gotcha.
Keep doing it. He's so talented, so athletic.
Yeah.
If he was to become a guy, the NFL would be pumped.
For sure.
We all would be.
Yep.
In Arizona, go ahead.
I think he can. I think in the NFL world, I guess, they got to win more for him to actually get into that conversation.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's how it works. But they got to get more talent. Like, their draft have got to get significantly better.
All right, well, good luck over there, Arizona. Now they get a win. Let's talk about a team that got a loss. D-Butch got a question for you, Dano.
Yeah, on the other side, who people are pretty high on at quarterback position. I know I am. I feel like you are as well. Herbert, he was spinning it last night, but they didn't get a bunch of touchdowns. What do you think is missing from that offense? I think they're missing some, quote-unquote high-end talent as well. Disley had a nice game. Palmer balled out. Some other people showed up. But what do you think is missing from that Chargers offense right now?
Yeah, I do believe going into the game, I wasn't sold that they needed perimeter help. Quentin Johnson doesn't play. DD doesn't play for them either. So down two kind of playmakers. I didn't go into the game thinking they needed perimeter help. I walk out of that game thinking they do. Because I do think they're a playoff team. Or at least they're going to get into that playoff conversation as the season goes on. I expected them to win last night. But to have a quarterback throw for 360 and to not score – and really kind of have the field. I mean, D-Butt, there were so many clips where Arizona was 8 yards, all 11 guys, 9 yards from the line of scrimmage, and basically saying, you can't throw the ball over our head. Now, I was surprised that, the Chargers weren't more aggressive on early downs. I kept begging them to do it because they did it early on, and they had the big play to Rager, and he fumbles at the 1 yard line.
Oh.
But I do think,
that's staying in bounds. To go out of, I mean, that's football gods there early.
That's the play of the game, right? Like that's in many play of the game.
That's football gods also saying, "Hey, this is how this one's going."
Yep, night.
It felt like that was pretty obvious there early because
crazy.
I mean, that's this far from out of bounds.
Yeah,
and then obviously just happening to have Guy there, it's like
the ball stays in bounds.
Yeah.
When it gets punched out. Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah, it's like that's tough.
Brutal.
All these things are tough, and is that why? Harbs was all pissed off. Khan's got a question for you, Dan.
Yeah, Dano, how was talking to Harbaugh, pregame in those meetings like you mentioned? Then obviously, how'd you feel about him at the end of the game on that third down, getting all riled up after they didn't get the call for the Chargers?
Was riled up.
Yeah, talking to him is the best, dude. Like, this is the third down. I don't think this is pass interference on the defense. I thought they might call it grounding. We've seen that a little bit in the NFL this year. Harbaugh was, at least if I was reading lips right, he was trying to complain, saying it was going to be a double move by his receiver, like stop and go. And I don't think that was actually going to be the case. So I think that's a good no call in that situation. But talking to him, man, he's awesome. He loves Justin Herbert now. I don't think I've ever heard a coach talk about a player the way that he talks about Herbert. He did our production meeting, and he was in there for probably 30 minutes, and 24 of it was about Herbert and just how remarkable Herbert is. And he called him incomparable. And he had Andrew Luck, so he was like, he's unlike anything I've ever seen. Greg Roman, who's their offensive coordinator, said he's the most gifted thrower of the football he's ever seen. And again, he's had Jeff George, he's had Lamar Jackson, so some pretty talented dudes, but They think that Herbert is the best thing going, and as long as they can kind of build around him and put a little bit of better protection and people around him, that he's very capable of winning them a Super Bowl.
I think you called him the Golden Goose or something like that. I forget. It was very early that Harbaugh came out swinging for Justin Herbert's the reason why I even took this job.
Got new shoes.
Herbert. Yes, exactly. Loved everything. Like, he has been very open and public about supporting. I love this guy. Everything about him. He's the reason why I'm here. He's the reason why I picked up and left Michigan is because of how much I love him. From day one, it's been almost like I don't want to say an angle, but basically an angle from Coach Harbaugh behind Herbert.
Hey, can't blame him. The kid made me a Chargers fan. But, hey, Dan, we talk about calls, and I feel like you were kind of on the side of the refs here with that call. That unnecessary roughness call going to Marvin Harrison Jr. late. Like you guys feel like that was a good call? Because I know Harbs was pissed off about that one.
What is it, sarcastic ball, dude?
Yeah. Do I think it's a good call by the letter of the law and the rule?
Okay.
It's fair. Do I think it's like an actual football call? No. But that's if you make contact with the head, they're gonna call it. Like whether I agree with it or not. Like no, I don't think that's an unsportsmanlike conduct. I don't think that's a shot to the head. But you can see how Hart leans just a little bit with his head, and it makes contact on Marvin Harrison Jr.'s head, and you're like, of course they're going to call it.
Well, thank you for being a steward of the game whenever you're in that broadcast booth. We really do appreciate that. Thank you, Dan. You enjoy those games? How many more you got?
I only got 2 more, man. I love them. I would do them every day.
That's Dan kind of campaigning for a job. If anybody has an NFL game out there, then Dan would love to be in the booth if you got time. You know, there's a lot more holidays coming up where NFL games are getting purchased up by these streaming.
That's right.
Why not let Dano in there?
Yes.
People are pumped.
Without a doubt.
Yes. Yes, Dano.
Only on ESPN Plus, though.
Yes.
No. You need Dan on all the channels.
Well,
no, it's keeping behind the
ESPN
paywall.
Plus is the right spot, though, too.
Yeah.
You know, because
it being on ESPN Plus only is dumb as shit.
Only is? Is there nothing else? There's nothing else?
I mean, what are we doing? Is this the NFL or not?
To be clear, when you're on Hulu, ESPN Plus is just kind of like
it was on
channel.
It was on Peacock. It was on Peacock, and it was okay.
That was a playoff.
Playoff game.
That was a standalone game. There wasn't a game at the same time.
Yeah, because the issue with Thursday Night Football, let me tell you.
Pat, you know this. Like, you're smart. There might be an angle of research and data attached to that, right? Like you're trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
Okay, Dan.
Data.
If Dan's on the call, everybody's watching.
I agree. He is a draw. Dan is a draw.
I'll be there.
That's what they say. But like Thursday Night Football, okay, I love it. It's the only game on. But the issue is when they go to commercial, I can't fucking go anywhere else. So the people that don't have Hulu, right, they got ESPN Plus only. There's another game that's better than the game that is on ESPN Plus that is available, but I have to exit and then go in and do something. And when they go to commercial, can't do anything else. So like I think that is probably the user complaint. Like it's cool if you could just flip back and forth. We got March Madness. We got Scott Hansen.
Yeah, exactly.
On Monday Night Football, breaking the action here. We got 4 hours of nonstop football coverage with the Peyton and Eli Manning cast. And I think that's probably people's biggest issue if I had to guess.
Correct.
But I'll tell you what, when I got over to your game, which I did a lot of, I remember, boys, we were talking that.
Texted us. You're like, hey, now we go.
You were really in a groove. You know what I mean? Your words, boom, 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 boom. Not easy in a 3-man booth either, Dano. No. You guys are really finding the weave. You guys are doing that warm-up pretty much of basketball.
Good suit.
Yeah, good fit.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you did great. Every time I went over to ESPN Plus, I thought that to myself. I said, Dan's really fucking doing his thing here.
Yeah.
I'll let a point guard in there, just passing around.
Yeah. He was.
Old John Stockton.
Best in the biz.
He was.
Well said.
He was doing that.
He does have some Stockton in him.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's a distributor for sure. All right, we appreciate you, Dano.
Thanks, guys.
It was so much fun watching you guys do your thing, or listening to you guys do your thing last night. I hope it happens more often.
Yeah, what was your... never mind.
What's that?
What's that?
What was like your favorite part of the comeback?
So there was this one time you said and that's why, and I was like, that's it.
Yeah, boom.
That's vintage Orlovsky right
What,
there.
the James Conner run.
Yeah.
You brought that up as soon as you came in, like the effort on that James Conner run.
Yeah, like this is what they're building around.
Begging for him to throw it to Marvin Harrison down the rear. Hey, come on, he's back there, 1-on-1. Yeah.
And then,
that's a flag. That's right.
That's rough. That's
by the letter of the law.
You were doing a lot of that. And then I think one time you said, I don't know.
What?
ESPN Plus crashed.
My TV broke.
Did Dano say that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait a minute.
Rewind.
Couldn't rewind because the whole fucking thing just stopped.
Oh, yeah.
It just became...
Buffering.
It was crazy. I'm like, holy hell, I'm not the only one who heard that. You're the man. You guys did great. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Bill.
Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah,
Big night tonight. You know that?
Oh, yeah, huge.
The NBA's tipping off.
Here we go.
Yeah.
We'll have Charania joining us here in 3 minutes. 10. The surprise in your voice there makes me realize that you didn't know that until just now.
So this is different. They're doing it earlier this year because normally it tips off around Christmas Day, right?
Yeah, well, they don't have Christmas anymore, remember? NFL took that.
Oh, they're moving it up.
So they moved it up. They try to get ahead of schedule here.
Nice.
So the NBA actually does tip off here in October now.
Wow, 3 months early.
That's interesting because Goodell came in, took out Christmas, said it's NFL now. So they moved NBA to October, which is cool, before Christmas. Spooky launch in this entire thing.
Smart.
Big game. Reigning champs, Boston Celtics hosting New York Knicks on banner night, and there's a lot of banners up there. They're going to run out of room.
Yeah.
Legit.
No, they won't. Don't you worry.
They're going to run out of room.
They'll find new places.
I mean, Missoula's the guy.
Yes, he is.
I think he is the guy coaching them. And then, obviously, 10 p.m. Eastern is the Lake Show. That's kind of late night basketball watching for most eastern part of America normally. Taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And obviously, LeBron is on the Lakers there, and Ant is on the Timberwolves. Nice. Even though they're...
a little flip-flop there. Little flip-flop action.
Yeah, just kind of keep them guessing. That's what we got to do. As a Celtic fan, Boston Connor, what do you know about this particular team? We're going back-to-back?
Oh, yeah, everyone's back. Porzingis is probably out till next year, not next season, 2025. He'll probably be back in January. But, yeah, this is a classic back-to-back situation. Joe Mazzulla's talking about, hey, we're all going to die someday. What? So what are you talking about? Pressure that this team has to deal with because they don't have any pressure. Everyone's pissed. This is a revenge story, even though they just won a championship. Team USA didn't play Tatum. Team USA didn't pick Jaylen Brown. And Joe Mazzulla's going to just be bumping his gums about that all season long. I'm very excited. I think, especially because of how the football season's gone thus far in New England and Boston, that a lot of people are very much looking forward to this Celtics team taking the floor once again, raising a banner, just like the Dallas Mavericks kind of taking a page out of the Indianapolis Colts book, raising a banner for winning the Western Conference. I think that'll probably somehow be weaved into Joe Mazzulla talking shit to this Celtics team. But no, I could not be more excited. And it's against the Knicks. The Knicks, they got a couple new faces. The Big Purr, who is now in the Knicks.
The Big Purr.
The Big Meow.
The Big Purr.
Come
Big
on
Bodega.
now.
Oh, Cat.
Yes.
K-A-T.
Oi. Oi. Oi.
Yeah, he's a Big Purr.
He is.
Brr.
He does that.
Big push, cat.
I don't think that's what
That's
they're
what
calling.
No, it is.
They call him the Big Push.
We can't find Big Push anywhere.
I didn't make that up.
We're not an NBA. That's not in my algo.
I've seen it.
But I just feel like what you said is not true.
I've seen it.
I said, I don't know.
Plenty of times.
Joining us now is the man who probably knows.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, senior NBA insider for ESPN, friend of the program, the handsome Sham Charania.
Hey.
Sham's good to see you. Hey, you've been crushing it early in this NBA.
I'm going to take my shirt off. No,
don't do that. Shams, don't become corny once you join ESPN.
Come on, dude.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Shams.
It's definitely worked before.
I don't have the black shirt. I don't have the black dress shirt that you had that you ripped off.
I want to let you know.
Saw it.
You look handsome. You look handsome again, which is good. I saw you on SportsCenter this morning. I believe you're on First Take. Now, hey, let's go, Shams.
Yeah, Shams.
NBA tip-off is a massive ordeal. We thought it was Christmas time, but apparently because the NFL took over, you guys moved it up a couple months. Big ones tonight. New York Knicks taking on the champion Celtics, and then Braun and the Lakers hosting Anthony Edwards, Gobert and the Timberwolves. Now, Shams, let's talk about this first game, Knicks and Celtics. Joe Mazzulla literally answered during his media day about pressure. We have the video right here.
But what kind of pressure do you feel to kind of maximize this opportunity that you have with this group?
Zero, no pressure. We're all going to be dead soon, and it really doesn't matter anymore, so there's zero pressure. You're either going to win or you're not. And when you win, you try to forget about it a week later, and when you lose, you try to forget about it a week later. And so it's not pressure, it's an opportunity. And we have an opportunity here over the next few years, however long we're together. I've said this in the past, we have an opportunity to carry the organization forward, to double down on the tradition and the history of what this organization has. And what else would you expect than someone expecting you to win all the time? I wouldn't want someone expecting me to lose all the time. That would be debilitating. So we have an expectation to win. We have great character, great talent, and we just have to work to maximize that, and we're going to rely on the players to do that.
I love that. We expect the Pistons to lose. We expect the Celtics to win. Are the Celtics primed to go on a run for, 5 straight titles, Shams? That's what it feels like to me.
For the next 3 to 5 years, they're going to be the favorites pretty much going into every season. I mean, unless there's some trade that occurs that, that this team gets broken up. As long as Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum are on the same page, this team is primed and ready. And I look at as soon as Kristaps Porzingis gets back in December or January, whenever that point is, that's going to be a great addition to this team, kind of a jolt that we're going to see during the season. This team is ready. And Joe Mazzulla, when the going gets tough, he's someone that never changes. He's going to be exactly the same individual. And when you're winning, it's funny that people get a look into how he is as a person. But this guy's as locked in, as detail-oriented as we're going to find in a coach. He knows exactly what he's trying to do. He's not going to be fake. He's not going to be anyone different. He's going to be the same exact person every single night. And I think with the players, that resonates very, very well. But with this Celtics team, I do think we're going to see some motivation too. I know we talked about it around the Olympics. What I heard a lot around USA Basketball was Jason Tatum saying MVP and wanting to be an MVP. And Jaylen Brown, he gets left off the Olympic team. And there were people in Boston, in that organization, that were scratching their head when Jaylen Brown gets left off the team and then Derek White gets put in, when Derek White's playing over Jason Tatum in the Olympics. So these guys, I think there's a little chip on their shoulder, and this is a great time for it because they just want a chip. So they, for them to have that right now, I think it's kind of scary for the rest of the league.
Okay, let's talk about the Knicks. They made some moves, obviously big ones. We saw Paisan DiVincenzo kind of smacking off at the gums at, Brunson's dad and Tibbs and the whole crew. Brunson's dad, I guess he chirps a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he's a little chirpy.
Oh, yeah. Ricky gets after it.
Yeah, I guess he runs his mouth a little bit. That's okay, respect,
Do we like Big Purr? Do we like Bodega Cat, Big Purr? What are we going with? Are we just going with Cat?
Well, Ty said that what he thought they were calling was...
Yeah, aren't they calling him Big Push, E-Cat?
That's not right. Nobody's saying that.
Come on.
Okay, so no, people aren't saying that. All right, we didn't know. We just tried to do some journalism there. Big Purr?
I said we just say I've seen all kinds of stuff.
Cat's meow.
Exactly.
Meow.
He's gonna have to be Big Purr this season because he's gonna be playing a lot of 5 this upcoming year. The last 2 years they've had Rudy Gobert in Minnesota, and he's been able to play a lot at that 5 position and really helping Karl-Anthony Towns. But going into this year, we know offensively what he brings to the table, and him and Jalen Brunson, I think that pick and pop duo is going to be dynamic. But playing the 5 for Karl-Anthony Towns for much of the season, Jericho Sims is going to be the backup center at different points. He might even start at different points next to Karl-Anthony Towns or play significant minutes next to him. Until Mitchell Robinson's back in the lineup
Big
to start
Purr!
2025, we're going to need Karl-Anthony Towns, and the Knicks will need Karl-Anthony Towns to be big time there, and they're going to need him to play big. But this is a team, Pat, I will say, they are scouring the market right now. They're looking. They have roster decisions they have to make. They have to make at least 2 signings within the first couple weeks of the NBA season. They're looking at a bunch of veteran players right now in the marketplace.
Who are they? Who are the players that are veteran players in the marketplace?
Well, when you look at it, Landry Shamet dislocates his shoulder, and you need some shooting. You need some guys that can play. So they are looking into all the players that are available. I mean, when you think about guys like Lonnie Walker and Justin Holiday, there are multiple players out there. We're still digging. We're still trying to figure out exactly who the Knicks are prioritizing. But I will say they are actively looking into potentially finding that shooter, that wing player that they can sign at some point this season.
Speaking of digging,
and it could even be Landry Shamet when he is fully healthy.
Yeah, great shooter, that guy. He lights it up. Speaking of digging, the Pacers went into the Garden and did some gardening last year. So hopefully the Big Purr has what it takes to maybe not just lose right to Tyrese Halliburton and his Pumas. He's Big Puma.
Yeah,
he's Big Puma.
And guess what? He doesn't.
I think he has a new podcast too. So shout out Tyrese Halliburton. He has a new podcast.
What? Big Puma? Big Puma?
I saw.
Wow.
I saw Barack Obama, I think, might have been on it. So shout out.
Obama. Big Puma.
Holy shit.
That's Tyrese Halliburton football, baby.
Wow.
He's doing it. He just congratulated 50 Cent, I believe, on the internet. After his, I believe he had a Halloween.
Pat, we need you to do some investigation on that congratulatory.
That's his lady. That's his lady. And
no, I know, but the why, like the timing, like it was interesting.
He said Fifth's always being supportive.
Yeah.
Really? That's what it was? I'm with Shams. I was kind of confused.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea. I have not asked, obviously, but I'm just assuming in the video he says.
Good video.
He said, Big Fifth, just wanted to congratulate you on your residency in Vegas. You've always been very supportive, I think is what he said in there. So I just assume, 50 50 Cent likes Big Puma.
Yeah.
They're tight.
50 Cent likes Big Puma. I like that. I respect.
We love 50 Cent, and Tyrese Halliburton's great for the NBA. So shout out to both of them.
And you can find him in the club earlier that night, dressed up like Michael Jackson from Thriller. He had a Halloween gathering here in Indianapolis. He's bringing the city together. You know him, Caitlin Clark, AR.
Of course.
We got a young crew.
The big three, man.
Okay.
Nice.
Two of them have done a lot more than the one, but the one is certainly on the way.
That's right.
Certainly on the way. Let's talk about the second game that's happening tonight. AP Tone has a question for you, Shams.
Yeah, Shams, I heard Wendy, that's Brian Windhorst. I don't know if you've met him yet, but once you do, you get in his hip pocket. You're going to learn a lot from that man at ESPN. He said that if the game is going good tonight, you're going to want to be in your seat the start of the second quarter because you might see Bronny.
What?
Have you been heard? Is that potentially, is Bronny going to get a lot of playing tonight? We want to see Big Bron and Little Bron play tonight.
Yeah, I was on the 4:10 a.m. Pacific Time Sports Center, and I said it is very likely LeBron James and Bronny James.
Get off of 4:10 a.m.
Get off of that.
I had this ingrained in my mind. 4:10 a.m. I was dreading 4:10 a.m. is something on the West
Shams, we got to get back to the negotiating table, brother.
Welcome to the jungle.
No, we're here for it. It's opening night, baby.
You're right. It's all day celebration.
We're ready for it.
All right, sorry.
It's the
Let's go back.
celebration of the NBA returning.
Let's go back
So
to 4:10
what
a.m.
I said was, it is very likely that both of them play tonight, and we see history tonight. Never have we seen in the NBA a father and son duo play in an NBA game at the same time, and it is very likely as long as the game is competitive and it's within the flow of the game. Like, listen, if the Lakers are down 15 and it's 6 minutes into the first quarter, I don't know if tonight is going to be the night. But if it is a game, if it is a close game, if it is a flow of competition, I think there is an expectation. I think there is a plan to have this moment, celebrate this moment. We probably will never see this ever again in the NBA. Like LeBron James in year 22 spoke this into existence in a lot of ways. So I think a celebration of history is what we're going to see. And then from there, it's going to be about how Bronny James develops. And come November, he's going to be spending time in the G League. And LeBron James is going to keep having to lead this team along with Anthony Davis like he's born to do.
Let's see what Bronny does tonight, okay? Because when Bronny's playing above the rim tonight, okay, with his dad, and all of a sudden his jumper is just silky.
Wet.
Which could happen.
Yeah.
Big lights, big time.
It could happen in the first quarter, could happen in the second quarter. I do think it's going to be early, though. Like, it's not, I don't think they're going to wait for the second half. I don't think they're going to wait for late in the first half. I think if it's a close game, I would not be surprised, mid to late first quarter, second quarter, have this moment.
Okay, cool. I can't wait to watch that. Congrats to the James family. That's wild. 22 years for LeBron. That ties Vince Carter for the longest of all time. We happened to watch Vince Carter one of those nights. He was down in Atlanta, and we just so happened to be in town for, I think, college football, and we found out he was playing against Giannis, and it was like, yup, we're definitely going in there. We saw Titty Boy. We saw Little Baby roaming around. Big Boy was actually in the seats that I ended up sitting in, but I think he moved up to his suite. He has a couple different, it was legendary night. And then all of a sudden, Vince Carter has checked in, and it's like, literally the entire place is like, holy shit. And he gave us like 5 to 7 good minutes of Vince Carter just backing people down. I think he did the whole thing. Defense. It was like, we're watching history in the making here. LeBron, but then he was obviously sub back off, and then he would come back in like later. Bron's still going to be playing as much as he played last year here in year 22. What's the expectation for LeBron? And how long does this last? How long does this last? This guy's unbelievable.
Can we rewind the tapes? I said on this show, I want to say when the season ended, 2 years at least, could he go 3 potentially? But when you think about 2 years, that's this season and next season. And next season, like, great timing, right? It is All-Star game, All-Star weekend in Los Angeles. And that would be year 23 for number 23. It is a lot of good parallels for next season. But listen, if LeBron James wants to play a third season and wants to play beyond next season, I don't think anyone would be surprised. But obviously, whenever he does retire, I think he deserves kind of that farewell moment that Vince Carter got, that Kobe Bryant got, that different players have received. And so I do think we'll know if it is the last year, because it's something that you'll want to celebrate one of the greats of the game, like we have with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and now potentially LeBron James. So I think next year is the window, really, for when you think about last season, and then obviously the year after that, if he can. But I don't think there's any minutes restriction on LeBron James. You always have to be mindful of a guy that's going to turn 40 years old in December. But I think going into the year, we saw him at the Olympics, how great he looked at the Olympics. Him and Anthony Davis, 2 of the top 6, 7-ish players on that Olympic team. And now the Lakers have those two guys. And I think the way he looked then, the way he looked in preseason, I don't think there's anyone that's going to be holding LeBron back unless it's he's going to be entering year 22. Like, there's eventually going to be a period.
That's because Steve Kerr wouldn't play anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what everybody's saying. Let's stick with that game, and then we'll have one last question. The Timberwolves, obviously, Ant, megastar, in that basketball show behind the scenes has only made him more popular. Is A-Rod the owner of that team? Who owns that Timberwolves team? You remember that was the situation? That was the whole situation. Has that been settled yet? Who owns it?
Yo, Pat, you had like a bat in your hand, and we had like one of the owners, and we had Glenn Taylor's face on the screen. I don't know. I don't know if we want to bring that back.
I do remember the conversation about him. So what happened? There was a deal, then it wasn't a deal, and then we didn't have a deal, and then now, A-Rod, you're not the owner. You do a song and dance a little bit. You own it. What is the situation over there?
Essentially, there was an agreement to sell the team $1.5 billion. They were going to do it in chunks of payments. And Glenn Taylor's argument was the chunks of payment were not done on time. The paperwork wasn't done. The wire wasn't in time. And Alex Rodriguez, Mark Laurie's position was the paperwork needed to be on time, not the actual wire itself. And that is where the crux of this arbitration. So Glenn Taylor saying that you needed to wire me this money. Alex Rodriguez and Mark Laurie said, all we need to do is send you the paperwork with the intent and the readiness and essentially the invoice or whatever to go through with this purchase of the team. This is where it stands right now, though. November 4th is when arbitration starts. Glenn Taylor against Alex Rodriguez and Mark Laurie. And I believe, from what I hear, within a month, we should know who's going to be the owner of this team. And what's interesting is I'm hearing that Alex Rodriguez and Mark Laurie have $940 million sitting in a JP Morgan account right now to be wired to Glenn Taylor and to the league to finish this purchase of the team. Not only just to get their 60%, 70% share, but to buy the team 100% in full from Glenn Taylor. There's an option. All right, you buy in maybe 60, 70%, and then Glenn Taylor still retains 20%. They are trying to buy this team outright in full. They also have a $300 million equity line as well. Michael Bloomberg, I'm told, is a part of this group as well. He's come on as a part of this co-ownership group. And so the impact that they've made, we've seen it around this team. They brought in Tim Connolly as the president of this organization. They brought in Rudy Gobert. They made all these moves, and you can just tell there's a change of aura in Minnesota. But listen, it's not up for me to decide who's going to get this team. I just have the information. But I do know within a month of that November 4th date, we should know exactly who's going to be the ownership group of this team moving forward.
You were late. Sorry about it. Sorry. He's watching his ratings, and Anthony Edwards just kind of starred. This is what I've been waiting on.
Finally good.
Oh, sorry, money didn't come through. Yep, that's what I thought. See you later. November 4th. They bring in Bloomberg. That's another mega billionaire.
Yeah. Huge.
That's powers. That's because this court case, I assume. They are, wow, big money, big stars. Tonight launches the next NBA season that's going to be the greatest of all time.
That's right.
Going to be the greatest of all time. Mostly because this man's face is going to be all over the TV for it. We can't thank you enough, Shams. Good luck today, pal.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shams rolling. Basketball's happening tonight.
So pumped.
I think hockey's happening too, right? Hockey's got a big
big night. Frozen Frenzy on ESPN. All teams in action. Here we go.
This is a big deal.
Team?
Yeah, 16 games.
I mean, this is what we're talking about here. This is what we're talking about. Any team, pick one, watch them. You're going to love hockey. Hockey is awesome. And if you've never seen the sport, there's going to be times where you go, I don't know what's going on. Stick through that. Stick through that. Stick through that. Because there's about to be magic on that ice. They're flying around. The skill level through the roof. And then the moxie of these boys. You're going to respect the shit out of it. Hockey's a great sport. Frozen Frenzy tonight begins at 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. We continue on the other side of this break. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life, like Dude Wipes.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's
Dan. Another farting Dan Orlovsky situation just took place.
Danny Dumps. What do you mean? It's unbelievable.
Your butt was just talking, okay?
I did not fart.
Dan. This is 2 times now, Dan. This is the Orlovsky thing.
You guys be serious right now, or are you messing with me?
Dan, listen to this clip. This is you just moments ago.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's
Dan.
I mean, undeniable. definitely freaking idiots.
We swear.
You guys, 1,000%.
No, we swear. We swear.
No way.
So no one did that then. Those cartoons. What did you eat?
I haven't even ate two guys.
Hey, if I were you right now, I'd go grab some food.
My wife texted me. She said, "Oh my gosh, McAfee Show, I'm dead." I go, "Babe, I promise you on everything, I did not fart."
Who runs your Twitter account?
AB.
I do.
What's this all about? I would like to know, in that situation where your butthole started talking, what did I do?
I'm here to be serious with you, man.
What are you, chugging a glass of milk, eating some fruit over there, get you some coffee, get that butthole a little bit more active?
I haven't ate. I'm eating yogurt. I have 1,000 text messages right now of people going, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, I just wanted to have like a quiet Tuesday.
I don't even know why we're going to have another hour. Maybe we run that clip.
Yeah. On loop.
We have the video. Shams, let's let you judge here.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
I need to hear the context. I want to give our guys...
Oh, Shams, shut up. He said it sounded like a fart.
What did AJ vote?
It's a fart all day long, Kirk. You know that.
Has anybody voted no?
Dan.
I'll be the captain of Team No today.
We need you to do a tie-breaking vote. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me. It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
There's no doubt. I mean, I like how he just kept on going right there.
When he was talking, he didn't even break stride as that thing came out. He went and got the buggy, went to the store, grabbed some dude wipes to wipe those ass cheeks, just like I assume you do as well, Cabal.
You have to go dry, wet, dry. Toilet paper, white toilet paper. If not, you're really risking the rest of the day having the swamp ass. You know, Dan Orlovsky, man, he got to accept that, man. He got to wear that with a pride. One thing that really bothers me when people do not take credit for it. You know, if somebody says, "Oh, that was you that farted," I get upset when it wasn't me. I'm like, no, when have I ever not claimed it when it was mine? You should claim it.
But all those airports, people are traveling today, looking up at the ESPN. Dan Orlovsky farts. What's wrong with this guy?
The closed captioning person, whoever it is, they got it. I believe it said inaudible, muffled.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our spooky humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football is happening all around us, and we're so incredibly lucky. A doubleheader happened on Monday Night Football last night, and now all eyes are ahead on this weekend being fantastic. It starts on Thursday night when two teams do battle to launch the NFL Week 8 of the Vikings and Rams.
Yes, there it is.
It's going to be a good one.
Circle this one.
Absolutely. We've been thinking about this for months. Sam Darnold and Maddie's staff on Thursday night, kicking off a weekend of football that is going to be must-watch, must-see, with College Game Day going live from Bloomington, Indiana, for the first time on a Saturday for football in the history of College Game Day. Kurt Signetti and the Hoosiers will be spotlighted as they host the Washington Huskies. Now, they have a loaded slate of college ball on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, guess what?
What?
Loaded slate of professional football on Sunday. Then Monday night, guess what?
What?
Good night. It's going to be a good night.
Always is.
It's going to be a good night.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Monday
bang.
Night Football.
It's going to be a good night.
Good
We've
game.
been waiting all weekend for Monday night.
Stapleton.
Not this one.
No, it's good. Monday night's good.
We get the guy in prime time.
Russell Wilson.
Danny Dimes.
No. Danny Dimes will be starting for the New York Giants. That's what was announced yesterday via Adam Schefter via text message on our program just yesterday.
No.
but the Pittsburgh Steelers at home.
Oh, no.
Renegade. Russell Wilson leading the song, leading the chant. I hope they introduce the offense again because obviously Russell got to run out of the tunnel for the first time this past weekend in prime time when they beat the New York Jets, and it was a magical moment. Holy shit. Look at the smoke. Look at the lights. Feel the city. Russell Wilson has arrived. Now, at that moment, nobody knew. Nobody knew. Is Justin Fields going to be the guy they're going to put back on the field to lead this Pittsburgh Steelers team for the rest of the season? Or is this human that we're watching jog out of this tunnel going to be the guy forever? He cemented himself for at least another week in Mike Tomlin's world.
That's right.
Will he be able to go to the tunnel again? We shall see. Prime time in Pittsburgh yet again. Steelers fans, Yinzer faithful, are being spotlighted on Monday night. This is a great weekend of football coming up, Tone.
I just realized, I think Steelers have won like 22 or something straight games on Monday night. I could be wrong.
So what are you so bummed out about?
And Danny Dimes has lost 18 straight primetime games.
So what are you so bummed out about?
I don't like it.
He sees what we all see.
Lamar Jackson, 22-1 against the NFC.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about it 20-1, 21, 22. Sometimes things are just meant to be. Pittsburgh Steelers fans should be pumped. You found your Messiah. Yeah. You found your next 7.
Hello.
He's chasing 7. His name's Russell Wilson. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Good luck to your Celtics tonight, Con Man.
It's going to be a good one. Don't worry, we don't need luck.
What's that?
We don't need luck.
What about pressure?
We don't need pressure either because we're all going to get shot in the head someday.
Nope. That's Gary V. You are
all of us
mixing up Gary V. and Coach Missoula's motivational speeches.
I would never, but I think they are both accurate.
Well, I think they both view the same way, which is like, hey, in the grand scheme of things, how much does this really, a little bit of a perspective putter? I think that is how Missoula operates. Obviously, that's how Gary V. operates. And I think what Missoula has done is obviously mightily impressive for a West Virginia Mountaineer dog. But it feels like other coaches, respect the shit out of Joe Missoula too.
For sure.
And with how young he is, there's a lot of people I reach out to Joe, ask him questions on how he's going to do it. Having a champion team, and then you are the favorites to win again. That is not the easiest spot to be as a coach. And then he's like, "Would you see the Olympics? They disrespected all the boys.
Yeah.
Did you see the Olympics? Did you hear what they're saying? Team's selling right now. There's a lot of adversity here as well. It's like he'll be able to find anything. Those are what the great coaches do. I like what Joe Missoula is doing with your squad.
Yeah, and that's why all the expectations and shit doesn't really matter because of Joe Missoula. And to your point, that just reminded me, I'm pumped for J.J. Redick tonight. Seeing him.
Being
a head coach for the Lakers. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, he's been speaking good in all the interviews. He's been himself. He hasn't changed, which we appreciate.
Yeah, at all.
And I assume the team does as well. If you lose, we'll see.
Oh, boy, they're going to kill him.
Oh, boy. This guy's first job coaching the fucking Lakers.
Go back to ESPN.
Okay. Oh, look at the little gimmick he played. Put Bronny in and we're running a feel-good Hallmark movie and we're trying to win some games. That's what people will start saying.
Yep, it's coming.
And he's a Duke guy, too, so there's a lot of stuff people
already don't like him.
He's handsome.
Yeah.
Boy, he had a good jumper.
One of the best.
Great.
He was so good. Somebody on his team misses a free throw. Think about what he's thinking in his head. You were so dumb.
Yeah, we don't miss free throws.
I don't know how you do that. You can do a left hand.
He should check in and take some free throws.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's like designated free throw.
Technical foul. Who's shooting them?
Me.
JJ.
He doesn't need to. They got Westside Connect.
Dog.
Dalton Connect. Certainly a dog. I didn't ask about him. We are going to learn about how he is going to do this NBA season this evening. Now, he put up 35 in a preseason game and a game winner, won bananas. Is that the regular season? I don't know. I don't know what the NBA preseason's like compared to the regular season. Just like the NFL preseason to the regular season, a lot of people look great, then people are terrible.
Hoop's the same.
Huh?
The hoop is the same.
Yep, you're right. The ball's the same size, too.
So,
that's a good point.
Something to think about. Staying in the basketball world, the WNBA players have opted out of their CBA with the WNBA. This comes less than 48 hours after it was announced from the owners of the WNBA that they lost $40 million this past season. Now, after that information gets leaked publicly and we see the WNBA powers that be are saying that they lost $40 million in spite of the most watched, most interest and everything like that. That all seems calculated now that we know the WNBA players came out and said, we are opting out of this contract because we're not making enough money. That seems like they were trying to set a narrative quickly to counter whatever this is going to be. That means they think it's going to be pretty big. If you're trying to win the public battle early, that means you know you're in it. This is just like when the NFL has their situation, because the NBA was saying, hey, this is like lockout territory, losing this much money with the deal that we have. And then the players are coming out like, no, this is like strike. This is like strike. So whatever you have both sides seemingly thinking that they're the ones who should be opting out of the deal. That's not good.
Not good at all.
So the WNBA is at its most popular. Everybody was talking about it. We even talked about it for a little bit, even though we have no idea about what's going on in that world. Knew the Liberty are going to win as soon as we saw them play basketball one time.
Sure.
What do I know? This guy doesn't know ball. This guy doesn't have a clue. Doesn't know it. Anyways, that feels like if they just blow this now, boy, that would be so WNBA of them.
It would be.
Wait, wouldn't that not be?
It'd be very tough.
Now, they'll figure it out. We assume. We assume they'll figure it out. But B-Stew's got that league.
Yeah.
Right? That's paying a bunch of money.
Unrivaled.
Guaranteed down there, unrivaled. It's like, what are they? Hopefully they figure it out because, especially here in Indiana, Caitlin Clark's selling out this arena every single night.
Yeah.
Business is good here, and business is good in every town that Caitlin Clark comes to. So hopefully they'll be able to figure it all out. But the NBA tips off tonight. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck, everybody.
9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler's here looking wildly cool.
Unbelievable.
This is the best one, I think.
Pretty damn good.
The wool polo.
Yeah, a little different. Feels a little different too, but I like it. Fall weather up here, and you did mention one sport.
It's going to be 80 today.
Yeah, it's not fall weather.
It's never 80 in here.
Not in the
This is fall weather to me.
Thunderdome's always full.
Yeah.
Thunderdome is always
Feels
full.
great.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
speaking of
closer to
fall,
winter.
October, World Series. When is that? When is
Friday night, the whole week.
I'm actually pumped for that.
I want Shohei to take that
Dodgers,
bat
Yankees.
straight up in the air.
He
He
will.
holds that bat straight up in the air.
Dog.
Just so intimidating, I assume. And he doesn't even move. There isn't even like a wiggle. Not even like a little bat tip or like a little bit of lean. It's just like a dead still. I know exactly what you're picking.
Locked in.
And then when I hit this, it is going to leave.
Go so far.
He's electrifying, man.
Yes, he is.
And then is this guy hitting the ball again or no?
He
Oh, no.
he
Oh,
came,
no.
again, he came around. He hit a game-tying home run in Game 4 that they ended up losing, but Juan Soto's hitting homers.
Boom.
Giancarlo Stanton's hitting homers. I'm feeling very, very good about the Yankees.
And who do the Dodgers have? They got Kiki and they got Mookie.
Yeah, Mookie, Tommy Edman, who was actually the NLCS MVP, very good. They got Max Muncy, a kind of stocky little fella who hits bombs. Obviously Shohei, and then they got a couple horses coming out of the bullpen as well.
I mean, Shohei's pitching or no?
No.
How come everybody has said no? How come that's the case?
Because they're saying no until they need him.
Yep.
They don't want to kind of let everybody know this is happening.
I don't think it's worth it.
Everybody that knows baseball has said no. Me, non-baseball knower, I see video of him in bullpen throwing full pitch. And they say he's been working at this. He's gone all the way back to a full routine and a schedule. It's like Shohei Ohtani, if we know anything about him between the years, dog.
Yep.
If he feels like he can pitch, does he need a 162-game season to get him ready to pitch to somebody in the World Series? I assume yes. But Shohei might think no. And if Shohei wants to go out there and toss the pill a little bit, let's go ahead and let him do that.
I mean, maybe you could say that, but they just spent like close to $1 billion on pitchers, and he had maybe the most impressive offensive season in the
He's
history
never
of
pitching
baseball. I'm not saying he's never pitching again. I'm just saying you look at the risk reward. Like when this guy just hits, he's pretty fucking good. So do you want him to go out there and throw 5 innings and have a bunch of strikeouts and maybe tear up his elbow again? No, you don't. You want him in the batter's box where he's hitting a dinger damn near every time he's up, or if he's not hitting a dinger, he's getting on base and he's stealing bases like crazy.
So I thought pitching was the most important part of this whole thing for Shohei. Instead, if you can be an offensive force every night as opposed to once every 5 nights, that is much more important to team than pitching, because I legitimately think pitching is baseball.
Pitching's incredibly important. And I mean, they do say that a really good offense sometimes can beat, good pitching. But with him, it's because he had the elbow surgery. Like if he had a clean bill of health, then yeah, he's pitching. But you look at what he does offensively, and this year, like I think a lot of people wondered, like, hey, this is going to be different from his routine because he was pitching every 5th day and then playing in the field too. Like, he just DH'd and played in the field sometimes, and he had arguably the best offensive season in the history of baseball.
Jeez, that has to be fun.
What a weapon.
That has to be so much fun for him. He likes throwing the ball, though.
He does.
He likes throwing that ball.
Think about the scene it would be if all of a sudden you get a notification, holy shit, Shohei Ohtani's warming up in the bullpen. It's Game 7. It's the 8th inning.
Oh.
Like, that's going to happen.
And are they going to...
No.
He's jogging out there.
They would never do that because that's Mariano Rivera.
on.
I thought that's what they do for closers.
No, that's what they do for Mariano Rivera, the best closer ever. They're not going to fucking do that for Shohei coming out of the bullpen when he hasn't pitched in 400 days.
Game 7,
You
World
know what?
Series?
Actually, you know what? I hope they do, because karma, guess what's going to happen? The worst hitter on the Yankees roster is going to hit an 800-foot homer off him if they do.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead. Play Enter.
You think that's what's going to happen
Yeah,
after he hears Sandman?
I do. Play Enter Sandman and have Shohei come out of the bullpen.
You think Shohei's going to hear, tuck to in, to the Sandman he comes. You think then he's going to hear, somebody's going to give up a ding? No way.
Shohei respects baseball, so if they did, he'd look up there and be like, turn it off now. Don't do that. That's Mariano Rivera's theme song. Not mine.
I am a real American.
That would be it. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would
Gets
be
the
awesome.
ball.
Yeah.
Hogan.
Every pitch.
Yeah.
He throws one, and then he umps his strike, and he goes.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be doing.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Hogan's going to be behind the plate.
Brother, straight. And then he's going to pop up, brother. All right, live from an attic in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, a college football national champion and a Super Bowl champion, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, sports fan, baseball fan, basketball fan, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
AJ, Shohei's going to do a couple of these, 9 straight.
I'm all in. Better not be Monday night. That's karaoke night. We know for the Hawkster down at the bar. So every night but Monday he can probably make it.
Good point. Hogan's hang out.
Down there at Beach House. They sing well down there, too.
They do.
Yeah.
Shohei, Game 7.
But could they run out of pitchers, Ty? Like, could they, say they go through the bullpen and they got to put them in at some point?
Both teams have had a week off, so they basically get to reset everything. So guys are going to be incredibly fresh going into the series. But you always worry about that if it becomes a long series. But no, I don't think I can't see there being any situation where he is pitching.
Everybody that knows baseball has said the same thing. So I'm going to continue to say, nah, you're wrong. It's going to happen.
I'm with you.
Until it's over. I believe he's going to come back and pitch. Joining us now is a man who's coming back off of an Achilles tear. He's a man who's a 4-time NFL MVP. He's a guy who's a Super Bowl champion. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, the quarterback for the New York Football Jets, Aaron Rodgers. Did you hear about Shohei, what he's going to do?
I love any time the show mentions Hulk Hogan. That gets me going.
All right. Yeah, the internet too. Yep. And we'll always get reminded of everything Hulk Hogan's ever done.
Sure.
We know.
I'm sure AJ can say all about it. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I watched the Hawkster back in the day when it was WWF, when he was rolling. Of course.
Did you?
When he was with NWO, and he came out with Rodman against Carl the Mailman Malone and Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah.
That was special.
Yeah, it was. That whole run, honestly. Eric Bischoff, he talks about 82 weeks. They led the ratings over Monday Night Raw. That was Nitro. And the Hulkster, Scott Hall, Diesel going over there. And then the idea of the New World Order taking over, brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. And Hulkster dyeing that beard every week.
Oh, my God. Playing the guitar coming out. Just the best ever.
And then the brother deliveries always hit.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk football. Aaron, I don't like you trying to dodge the question here. Okay, I don't like what you did here.
Not dodging anything.
Yeah, you did. Well, you're not dodging. Hey, the internet's going to get you. You are a meme machine. Every time you're on TV, something comes of it. We'll obviously talk about the game and everything that happened during it, but there's a clip.
I've already been alerted to this, and actually in the moment I was thinking, man, I hope the camera's not on me right now.
He said you ate your bugs.
Yep.
That's gross.
Digging for gold.
He said you ate your, your boogers.
Oh, damn, it actually kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it, too.
If you would like to, I think you ate your bugs, dude. I think that's what the internet's saying. Now, obviously, I am a human. There was another nostril thing that happened. You had a bottle of smelling salts, I believe, get you going. Yep. So I understand wanting a nice clear nasal cavity. That's what you're trying to do with that, kind of get you going. Maybe something slipped off the edge of that. Maybe there's a little something flying through the air. Fireman Ed's. Maybe beard or mustache came in and tickled you. What happened there? If you would like to clear the air for the boogie eating scandal.
Well, first of all, shout out to Max Mitchell for being there for the little, smelling salts, ammonia packages before taking the field. I appreciate that. As far as the boogs goes, I've actually never eaten my boogers. That's one thing I'm very proud of.
That was your first time on TV?
Oh, one time? What about as a child? Had to happen. Come on. Had to happen.
No, I honestly haven't.
You're missing out. Try it.
It looks.
Give it a go. Yeah.
It's great.
It's a tough look to try and defend because that video it's a little incriminating.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there needs to be a side view that shows that there wasn't a boog that actually went in the mouth.
Okay.
It seems like I didn't get anything on that one. That's why I was just kind of like seeing what was going on. But yeah, it's a bad look.
Every once in a while, you get a little tickle in there, too. You got to clear it up. If we could get full context with that side view to notice that there was no delivery.
I'm sure there's a side view as well.
Well, we're going to find it. I'm sure the internet will try to find that entire thing. Happy you cleared your name there. Now, let's chit-chat about the game. Early. Looks good. Here we go. Sunday Night Football. We're about to have a massive win over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. This could kind of propel us into a whole new season looking ahead. Then, obviously, the second half goes the way it does. You have a couple turnovers, a couple interceptions, one off a chest, one over the middle. All hell is breaking loose seemingly in Jets fandom. How do you feel about the game and how it went and viewing it going forward for the season?
Well, I'm disappointed in the pick because I feel like that the first pick that changed the whole momentum. The one off Garrett's chest, that stuff's going to happen. There's always going to be those plays, slips or tips or drops that turn into that. It's kind of part of the game. Some seasons you have a good stretch of luck where you don't have those plays, but those are going to happen. And I told him, coming back to you, don't worry about it. But the first one, that was a bad decision. I should have just dumped it off. We're leading. We had under 2 minutes there. We go down and get points. Just go down and run some more clock time. They don't get the ball back. We go into halftime up 2 scores. I loved. We scored on a touchdown to Conk. They have some sort of penalty on the extra point. I went to Brick, said, hey, let's go for 2. Let's go up by 2 scores. Because every time you go up by 2 scores, it changes the nature of the game, whether it's first half or second half. It's the momentum of it. So to go up 15-6 to have a chance there to go up 18-6 or 22-6 or just waste some more time off, don't get in the ball. We have the kickoff. We get the ball in the second half to start to have a chance to go up 3 scores. That was a really bad decision by me, so I'm disappointed. I think the energy level was good to start the game as it was in Buffalo, but the energy, and I look at myself first, it just wasn't good enough. I think personally and as a team, we're playing with too much anger and not enough enjoyment. That's why I kind of wore this hat today as a little reminder. Shout out to Jake Ryan and Hugo, but we've played this game for a long time and we get paid incredibly well. This is our livelihood to play a game that most of us dreamt about or played as kids and always want to be in this position. And personally and our team, we just need to have a little more fun, smile more, to enjoy each other. And it's fun when you win, of course, but I think there's ways of taking some of the pressure off, and it's got to start with me this week with my energy and my approach. And I was disappointed not just about the pick, but a couple other I wish I could have had back. But we just have to respond to adversity a little bit better, and it starts with me, and I got to lead the way with that.
Okay, so there's the question. It's like, are you happy because you win, or do you win because you're happy? And then is your mindset have to or get to? Is that what you're referring to, almost like on the day-to-day process of it all?
I think you have to get yourself to a point, whether you're 2-5 or 5-2, or wherever you are in between. What's the worst that could happen? And take your mind to that spot and deal with it. And then what's the best that could happen? And take your mind to that and deal with it. But deal with it and then move on. And just play free. The worst that could happen, we don't turn this around and things go south and a lot of us are, in a different stratosphere. Now deal with that. Okay, cool. Are you going to be okay at the end of that? Yeah, I'm going to be okay. Guys are going to be okay. What's the best that could happen? We embrace the energy that's shifted in 2 weeks. We go out, we play free, we have fun, we enjoy each other on the field. We do the little things. We pick each other up, celebrate. We believe in each other. We communicate on the sidelines, and we go on a run. And then we can do something magical. We've been in this spot before. We, meaning myself and some of the guys I've played with. There's the semi-famous relaxed statement. That was after 3 weeks, going into week 4, where we turned around. But people maybe forget about 4-6 in 2016 when we weren't playing well at all and went through a rough stretch and just got kind of waxed in Tennessee and came back home and then we ran the table, won 8 straight and went to the NFC Championship game eventually losing to Atlanta. But that was a fun stretch. We won a lot of good games. Offensively, we kind of figured some things out. We started taking the ball, and Devontae had an incredible second half of that season, started to lift himself as our top target there. As it was kind of the back end of Jordy's career. Jordy was still an incredible player, but Devontae was starting to emerge. And then in 2022, although it didn't end, Ty, you remember this one? We were, I believe, 3-6 at one point. We were 4-8, and then I just kept feeling it's just going to take one, and we got that one against Chicago at Chicago, and then we won 4 in a row, and eventually lost to arguably the hottest team in the league at that point, which was Detroit at home in a game that obviously I didn't play my best game and my last game at Lambeau, but we got hot, we started to believe, and that's what just the power of belief is a snowball that can start an avalanche, and I think that's what we need, and it starts with me. I got to bring the right energy every single day, and especially on game day. I feel like we've been loose, we've been having good practices, but for whatever reason, there's been a little bit of tightness on game day, and I think that's got to start with me. I got to bring the same energy during the week and lead with that energy. I think there's been some good leadership moments, but I need to be a great leader, and I think part of that is that last little energetic part, and just doing as much as I can to make sure those guys play free and not worry about making mistakes. And when something bad does happen, how do we all respond, myself included? And I think we can do that a little bit betterly, and it starts with me. And I'm gonna set the tone this week with that.
Hell yeah! Let's go! A lot of football left, and obviously magical things have happened not only for you and a lot of the guys that are currently on the Jets roster, but in football in general. It's 2-5. It's a bit daunting, but if you go on a run at any moment, you're right back in it. Especially this season. This season, there's only one team that is still undefeated. Everything else is still out there, seemingly for everybody. AJ has a question for you, Aaron.
Aaron, we hear people talk about all the time, like the process. Trust the process. Try to enjoy the whole process, and don't worry about the results and everything. How is that like? When you're thinking about that, does your process stay the same when the results are not what you have had in the past and not what you want?
Yeah, that's a good question, Mr. Media Guy.
That's a good question, Mr. Media Guy. Because he's MMG. Oi! 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 Sorry. Mr. Media Guy. MMG.
Mr. Media Guy, I love that. That could be a new nickname. The process has to stay the same as far as the core principles of it. But I think there's always room for tweaking, and it involves a lot of self-reflection. And I think that's what we all need to do is look at our own process, and the core kind of foundational pieces of that process should be able to be sustained from week one into the playoffs. But there's always little tweaks that need to go on, and it's a hyper-awareness of your role on the team and how you can do that to the best of your abilities. If you're a teamer and that's your role, you got to do it to the best of your abilities every single week, every day in practice, preparation, on game day. If you're an impact player, you got to show up every single day and practice the right way. If you're an energy guy, you got to bring the energy every single day. As a quarterback, you're involved in a lot of those different things. You obviously have an important role to play. You're an impact player, but you also got to bring the energy and be that consistent person people can rally behind. But it's going to be interesting to see how we respond to this. This is, we're in the fire for sure. It's been a rough 4-game stretch for us, coming off of a win that everybody's feeling real good about on a Thursday night, and we got to reset and get this thing moving in the right direction starting Sunday at New England.
That can be a freeing thing when everybody understands the situation that you're in. That can be you talk about that a lot. Everybody needs to play free. And I think people that maybe haven't played sports or team sports can understand what that means. Playing free is like knowing what you're supposed to do and then not overthinking it either. So you're that comfortable with everything and how you're feeling. You're just going out there and doing as opposed to any thinking, and having the right mindset throughout the entire week is a big part of it. What year is this for you?
Lucky number 20.
Isn't it crazy that like guys that play 20 years or 18 years or, we're just talking about Braun playing 22 years. When I was a kid, I used to think that there was people that weren't practice people and just showed up in the games.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy's able to just turn the switch on game day. It's like, that's not real. Nobody that is actually good does that. Like, that is not how the world, like, every meeting for the ones that are at the top, like, is the last meeting on earth. Like, there is an attention to everything that the greats accomplish that when I was a kid, I thought you were just going to be able to, I'll practice, who cares?
Roll the ball out.
I'll be able to do it again. It's like,
It's because you saw that Allen Iverson interview.
bingo, practice. Talk about practice. We're not talking about a game. I mean, AI might have been the only one. Legitimately. AI might have been the only one, and I assume there's a couple in the NFL that have been able to do it, but very rare. And I think that's a misconception that some people have. And it's like, no, work, everything.
Yeah, I agree. There's somebody that can do it. I mean, Charles, late in his career with us, I would see him, banged up, getting treatment nonstop, and then always on his iPad, like watching film. And he just never worried about, how he was going to be on game day. He was going to show up. He was going to ball out. He was going to lead. He was going to bring energy. I heard, I haven't seen this, but I heard, D-Hop has gone through stretches where he hasn't practiced a lot. And he's one of the most dynamic receivers of our generation. So he's obviously able to just, suck it up, be a warrior, turn it on and go practice or go play on game day. But those are the outliers. There's just very few that can do that. I mean, I need to practice. I need to be out there bringing the focus and the energy. You talk about intentionality, like the basis of manifestation is intention and attention. And I agree with what you said. Every meeting is the most important thing we're doing in that moment. And then the next thing is the most important thing that we're doing in that moment. I think that's got to be the approach. And it's just refining these small little parts of the process to get this thing right. But I love what Brick's been talking about the last 2 weeks. I love the opportunities given to certain people to speak in certain times. It's been very impactful. But now, and I said this last week, all this stuff is fantastic. It's amazing, the good vibes. But it doesn't matter. It's not even worth the shit unless you win.
Yeah.
And so we got to figure it out. And then, because the winning gives all the, the minor little tweaks that are going on, it gives them the justification. It gives them the platform. It gives them recognition. The validation. That's the right word I was looking for. And we just got to do that.
I'm excited to watch it. Now, one of the moves that is going to be validated, we assume regardless, happened last week with good friend of yours. D-Butch got a question.
Yeah, talking about impact players. Devontae, I think I'm going to assume he had a good week of practice. I saw you target him on the first play of the game, but it kind of struggled to get him the ball in the second half. I know it was some batted balls. I don't know if that's something defenses are doing intentionally. But what was Pittsburgh, I guess, doing to prevent Devontae getting those targets, getting those catches in the second half?
Well, I think they had a good plan. They played a lot of two-shell. There was a lot of vision zones, but there weren't a lot of outside freebies other than the first play when they played two invert to that side, and I just missed the throw outside. But there was a few opportunities we had, but I think we were just kind of easing Tay in. He hadn't played in a few weeks. He had a lot of feel for the offense, but there wasn't a lot of different things that we felt we wanted to just throw him into. But I think you're going to see his role expand as we move forward. And I liked Allen had multiple catches and some impact plays. G had a number of impact plays for us. Mike had a huge fourth down conversion for us. Mm-hmm. We're going to need all those guys moving forward. And, we're just going to be able to keep doing more and more stuff with, what 17 allows us to do.
I'm excited to watch the offense continue to evolve. How's Dahn? How's it been? A couple weeks now.
Yeah, Todd's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's, in a tough spot in that, he's replacing a best friend. But I thought he's handled it with a lot of class and a really good approach. Hack's been very supportive through the whole process. But, Todd's done a really good job in front of the room, delivering the message, installing the plays. And I have a lot of trust and respect for Todd Downing. He's a great man and a damn good coach.
All right. Let's go now, boys.
Yeah, Todd.
Let's go now, boys. Let's go offense. Huh? Let's start using all the pieces. Let's start moving along. Let's start winning games. They look good. There's been so many spurts of great. It's close, right? We feel on everything, don't you? That's kind of how every team feels after a loss. It's like, these 5-6 plays, they go our way. We probably win that game, But do you feel that with the offense? Like, especially with Devontae getting back in there, we're close to being full efficiency?
Yeah, but what does that give you? That doesn't do shit for you. It's like, hey, we're close. All right, well, maybe this week we'll put it together. I will say, from a mindset, looking back on the 16 season, we had a subtle shift in mindset. And the mindset was offense, we're going to win the game. We're going to put our defense in a better spot. And they hadn't been playing lights out, our defense. But we said, let's start faster. Let's be intentional about these first 15. Let's get rolling and let our defense play with the lead and see how things start to evolve. And the confidence that I saw on both sides of the ball really changed. In New York, good, bad, or indifferent, for the last long stretch, it's been win with defense. That's what it's been. We joke about being a defensive organization, but they've had a lot of defensive head coaches, the ones that you remember. And it's kind of been at times in spite of the offense. We saw it last year a lot. Our defense hold them to 13 points and lose, 12 points and lose, 17 points and lose. And offensively, I think we need to just adjust that mindset instead of like, hey, let's go play well. It's, hey, let's win the game on offense. And I know it seems like a little thing or trivial, but mindset is everything. And Brick talks about heart, mind, and fist. Heart being why you play for your teammates, you play for the love of the game. Fist is the violence part of it. It's, it's controlled violence, in a collision sport. But the mindset is so very important. And I think if we can start to think about things in that way, let's go win it on offense. Let's not hang around and wait for a defense to get us a stop or a big turnover or teams to have an impact play. Let's go win this game on offense and have that mindset of scoring every possession. And it starts this week on Wednesday.
Yeah, you mentioned all the ones you can remember. Herm Edwards, Rex Ryan, Robert Saleh. Those are all defensive guys.
Bowles.
Now, Bowles, also defensive guy. Now, Brick, defense coordinator, is the interim head coach. Heart, mind, and fist. Love that.
Hell
You
yeah.
can get it. Sounds like some of his messages are already hitting home. Conman has a question.
Yeah, Aaron, on your touchdown to Conklin, a lot of people I know actually bet Conklin to score a touchdown, so a lot of people are very, very, very appreciative of that. But on that play, the play before, it looked as though Breece Hall got in. It looked as though they were going to review it, and they decided not to. You guys got to the line, ran a play. Coach Ulbrich, he was close to throwing that challenge flag, and then there was a little bit of a mishap. Have you gone over with him how to throw the challenge flag, and have you guys been practicing just throwing the ball around, before and after practice?
Playing catch.
Yeah, playing a little catch so that when that opportunity comes, he might be ready for it.
Well, as Pat likes to say, if you know Brick, he's pretty jocked.
Yeah, he's jocked, isn't he? He's jocked.
He's pretty jocked.
I love that.
So maybe there was a little shoulder tightness in there that didn't allow him to get that flag out. Maybe, he's a little stylish too, so maybe the pants were a little tight. He couldn't quite get the flag out, and then the shoulder was a little tight.
Yeah.
Between
the cheeks and the pants, especially if he's jocked. That could have been his chest. His chest too big. Couldn't be able to get it.
Like AQ.
Big gorilla couldn't reach it. Yeah, there's a chance. That's the
It
kid.
just is a little slippery, unfortunately. But fortunately, we had a great play call and made a good fake, and Conk was wide open. But I don't know if you and we'll see if we can get this. Here's the clip here. But I don't know if we can get this clip teed up. But in 2012, we were in Minnesota later in the year, and I threw a key to James Jones, just a little run alert. He broke a tackle and reached out for the goal line and scored it. Now, some people remember this, some people don't, but back then the rules were, and we learned it on Thanksgiving when Houston played at the Lions, if there's a play, scoring play, or a turnover, I believe it was both those things, those started to get reviewed. However, if you threw a challenge flag, it was unable to be reviewed. So there was a play with Justin Forsett where he, against the Lions, he busts off like a 70-yard touchdown run. They let the play stand. Obviously, in replay, you could tell that he was down. But instead of just pausing, because it was a new rule, I believe it was Jim Schwartz threw the flag, right? And because he threw the flag, they weren't able to review it. So a play that would have been like a 6-yard gain turned into a 70-yard touchdown for Forsett. So fast forward later in the year, we're playing against the Vikings. James Jones scores his touchdown. As he reaches out for the goal line, he hits the goal line with the ball, and the ball pops out. And instead of calling touchdown, they call it a fumble. They return it. Well, Mike threw his challenge flag on the field, and Jordy picked it up super secretly and like tucked it in his pocket. You remember? And then Mike Carey, who was the ref that day, I believe it was Mike Carey, he said they got buzzed down before the challenge flag was thrown. So they allowed it to go to replay. Obviously, in the replay, they reversed the turnover and gave us a touchdown. But immediately when I turned, because I threw a touchdown, and I peeked back. I don't know if I was thinking there might have been a flag or something. I peeked back, and as I peeked back, I saw the red flag on the ground. So I went up and just threw it behind, just threw it off the field. But my immediate thought was, 2012. I think it was 2012 when Mike threw that challenge flag that we was able to stand up. But yeah, Brick, he's still getting used to everything. He had one later in the game though, which was a real, I feel like, solid throw. He got it inside the numbers. So shout out to learning from your mistakes and getting that thing all the way out there.
That's really former player.
Some coaches just like drop it in front of the ref.
Spike.
And then sometimes they slam it in front of the ref.
Should try to hit him.
Sometimes they
try to hit the
toss
ref.
it in front of the ref. But definitely Brick had that thing way out there.
I don't think throwing it at officials is the right move.
Come on, you can't get a flag if it hits him. You can't. Yeah, you could say, "Hey, I was trying to get in your vicinity, into your eye line."
Right, get a flag.
You can get a flag.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
He's throwing hard enough.
Head coach of this team right here tried to hit me in
his
the
arms. He's got too live of an arm. Sorry, guys. All right, I think he'll take that.
Sorry, Coach Brick. Coach Brick Shohei from the mound, even though they won't put him up there. Mm-hmm. I'm so sick of it. Let Shohei pitch. Anyways, we move along. Coach Brick sounds like a good guy, though. We like him.
Yeah, we love Coach Brick. He's a great human being. He's done a nice job in a tough situation.
All right. A couple more questions about the Steelers game. Tone has one for you.
Yeah. Hi, Aaron. First and foremost. When the game was over Sunday night, the first thing I noticed was there was a line of Steelers players coming up to you just because of how long you've been in the league and just kind of your stature and who you are as, just a future Hall of Famer. And I was thinking after a loss, is that a pain in the ass? Does that suck? Or is that hey, this is kind of cool that every single person on the Steelers does want to talk to me?
Well, I will say this. That's a great question. One thing that I am a little sensitive about is, I'm a fierce competitor and I hate to lose. And in those post games, the loss has already happened. And now I'm seeing people that sometimes I really love and respect and played with or played against and have a ton of respect for, or coaches I've gone against over the years. So I never want that to be misconstrued with I'm not fucking pissed. Sorry.
Thank you.
Because I am.
Thank you for apologizing. Thank you.
Because I am. But this game is a relationship-based game. And, we all have some of our closest friends because of this business. So I think there's a lot to be grateful for. And I always look for the starting quarterback or the group of quarterbacks after the game. I saw Russ, I saw Justin, I saw Kyle, guys that I've known for a long time. Dean Lowry, one of my favorite teammates, just, Dean the Machine is over there. He's just an awesome guy and got to have a cool moment with them. So instead of just a passing, hey, good game, to be able to drop in for 15, 30 seconds with some of these guys is a special moment. And some of these guys, tell you, hey, man, you're my favorite player growing up, or I watched you as a kid, or you inspired me. And that's cool moments. Some people, just share their respect. Some people share a story or a moment. Dean said some super nice things to me about our time in Green Bay, and I was really thankful for that. Some coaches I've gone against for a long time, being able to see Arthur, who I have a ton of respect for, and some of the coaches that have been there forever, Mike Tomlin, ton of respect for Mike. Those are important moments. I think that's what great competitors do. Is you hate to lose, but
let's go shake their hands.
There's a respect. Yeah, there's a respect thing about knowing what you're putting on the line. Both teams, the grind, the time you put in, and showing your respects in that way. But as an older player, there's a few more people who sometimes wait around to talk to you.
That's awesome to hear these kids. I was 5 years old when you started in this league.
That's some of the sentiment for sure.
I feel like ever since I've had memories, you've been playing quarterback in the NFL. Thank you so much for what you've done for the game. All right, All right, Antique Rodgers, I'm going to get out of here, brother. It's like you came to the zoo, got a chance to see the museum piece here, play ball and say hello. Did Beanie, West Virginia legend, you going to sign one of those balls for him, please? Maybe both of them?
Yeah, I can do that.
Boom.
That's very kind of you. Because you're one of the guys you get a pick off if it's like, see that shit?
Yep.
That was once in Aaron's hands. Then whose hands they get into?
Hell yeah.
Mine.
Beanie.
You talked about Coach Tomlin there. Obviously been around forever. What the Steelers have is literally a staple of consistency throughout the board. I mean, Omar, the new GM, was there for like 10 years, 15 years before it. So it's like that place is very similar. You and Coach Tomlin had a few moments. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Aaron, I don't know if you actually made eye contact with him, but it was on the broadcast briefly when I think you were trying to get them with 12 men on the field, and Tomlin quickly got the timeout in, and the camera panned to him, and he's kind of just nodding to you, grinning like, yeah, you're not going to get me, pal. Obviously, you two have a bunch of mutual respect for each other, but in situations like these, do you feel like teams at this point now are getting a little better with that, and they're like not going to allow you to get them with the 12 men on the field because you've been so successful with that in the past?
Well, I think it's on their mind for sure. The substitution patterns have definitely changed in our games. Just a simple point at the line of scrimmage stops, substitution coach from bringing guys on the field. So that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to get them to think about. That moment between Coach Tomlin and I was the exact same thing that happened in 2021 when we played them at home. You remember we had him, and he called a late timeout, which was just like the other night. And he looked over and did the same thing, kind of smirked and shook his head like, no, you're not getting us. You're not getting us today. So kudos to him for being on that. There's a lot of times where a guy is running off the field and a coach will risk whether or not that guy is going to get off the field or not. And it's always, kind of that fine line. The ball needs to be on the ground. We need to be in a formation, and they need to have a guy who's, sprinting his butt off to get off, and just trusting that you're going to get the snap off before that's off. Over the years, as Ty knows, not only have we got guys with 12 on the field, but there's been, I want to say 3 or 4 times at least where they haven't called it, and we've gone to a challenge because that's a challengeable play, and actually reversed or brought about the 12 on the field call through that. So people maybe don't realize that's a challengeable play, but it is. To our credit, over the years doing that, we haven't been wrong when we've challenged that. Every time we've challenged whether or not they had 12 on the field, we've won. So it's something to think about. They've always thought about it. Different coaches have had different substitution kind of styles. With Chris Kasarik over the years, who's been in San Fran and Detroit, they seem like would always have either a play after 3 plays you sprint off the field, or if it's a play that finishes outside the sideline to their sideline, quick substitution. So just give them something else to think about during the week and to be prepared for.
Yeah, I forget the entire Hembo stats, but yeah, you're like your best ever. Free play. You're free play God is what they're saying, yeah. GAWD, obviously, because words are spelled for a reason, and it's GAWD, which is also...
There we go. Look at that. Great job. There's a nod. Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet long hair. Are we thinking about that again, maybe? Another Halloween costume right around the corner. Have we figured out the Halloween costume yet?
I heard you're gonna be a big vaccine. I heard.
Huh? Really? Johnson
Fauci.
building?
Or Fauci.
Is that right?
Oh, really?
I'm gonna reenact the Stephen Colbert thing he did on his show.
Okay.
What was that?
Thanks, AJ.
I saw that.
Thanks.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying Halloween party. You've hosted Halloween parties in the past. We all know in the heart of COVID you did. But what are you doing this year? Are you going to do this or not?
Everybody was 6 feet away from each other.
What a jag-off.
What are we doing?
I didn't. First of all, I didn't host that.
No,
party.
you weren't allowed.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't allowed to hang out. He wasn't allowed to hang out.
You were shooting guns.
You weren't allowed to.
I went for sure.
You were non-vax. The vax were allowed to have a Halloween party. Non-vax weren't allowed to go. That was the big penalty whenever you were Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Pow.
You look so...
Had Preston Smith's dog with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say we need some shout outs. Shout out to P. Preston Smith for being my photographer, let me use his dog. Shout out to the Train Station Museum across the way in Green Bay, where we hosted a few different parties. Anybody that hasn't been, and all the beautiful people in the Green Bay area, if you haven't been to the haunted house that they have there at the train station, it is it's a bucket list thing. It's pretty amazing. It's creepy as hell. I mean, you ride this haunted train over to this. There's a couple different spots you can go in, and it's creepy. I mean, there's people full out in character trying to scare the hell out of you.
And a lot of those.
And watching some of these guys over the years, we did the parties there, it was a blast. I mean, to watch some of these guys just get super freaked out. I didn't want to go inside.
Hold on.
Not going in. Not doing it.
Hold on. So you guys were riding on the same train? You as a non-vax?
Oh my God!
Different cars.
No, this was non-COVID years. In the COVID year, we went to the automobile museum, and it was a huge, tremendously large space. See, there's the cars in the background. See, it was a tremendously large space.
15 years.
There was a lot of room for the vermin that was the non-vax to move without interacting with anybody. Okay. There was a ton of room. I'm talking about the other years where we went to
I didn't know if you guys were all
the train history
on each other.
Yeah.
Screaming in each other's faces on that haunted train. That'd be a COVID's worst nightmare.
I'd be scared.
Oh my! Maybe COVID isn't there because he's so scared by the people that were working.
I think that it's a body.
There was somewhere in Pennsylvania. Those haunted houses had a hell of a run there for a bit.
Oh yeah.
There was somewhere in Pennsylvania, near Western Pennsylvania, they could touch you. Remember that? That was
I'm not
There's one in
down.
West Virginia allowed to take
It's
it.
down near
Kennywood.
Station Scare, I think.
It's called Kennywood. Yeah.
Kennywood. Listen,
You gotta sign a form.
You bet, Aaron?
It is spooky in Kennywood.
Kenny the kangaroo gets handsy.
No, that is not.
He does.
That's not how this. Jesus, that's not what we're talking about there. We're talking about high quality amusement park Kennywood that during the Halloween season is spooky.
Sell some of
for the whole family, for the whole damn family.
To sell some of the park to make those hats for you.
Okay, hat's very nice, high quality.
You got to head over to John Eagle right before that.
Bingo! Speaking of John Eagle, we appreciate the Saris Candies gift that you sent over.
Yep.
We will have you know that somebody that stuffed the bag that got sent to us certainly took 3 of the Buckeyes out of the container and then sent them to us without plastic wrap on it.
Yep.
John Eagle needs to know that somebody in their department did that.
Still delicious.
It was delicious. We ate the rest of them too. Were they drugged? They weren't wrapped. Who cares? Let's dive in. They were wrapped in a basket.
Yep.
Like a plastic basket. From Giant Eagle. Once again, shout out to Giant Eagle.
Shout out.
The greatest. You need anything, Giant Eagle. All right. It was wrapped in a basket, whole tie, plastic, whole thing, with a bunch of candies inside of it. You know what I'm talking, like an Easter basket type thing with a wrap. So we open that up, and then we get inside to the Buckeyes. Buckeyes already been opened.
Yeah.
So whoever was making the Easter basket, I think was like, saw these Buckeyes, this is too fucking good. And they were 100% right. Took out an entire.
Maybe that was post some vitamins.
I would assume the person wrapping the thing was maybe a little high. And
They won't notice.
To let Saris Candies know, your Buckeyes,
still got
to die for.
They just started making them. They just started making the Buckeyes. It's a big deal here.
brand new. And they were deleted from our office in, I think, like 2 hours.
The best things I've ever had.
Like maybe 50 of them gone quickly as soon as anybody saw them. And they're so good, just looking at them, the people wrapping them can't even keep their hands.
Fuck it, I need a few.
Happy Halloween to everybody. Yeah, there they are.
There we go.
So just take out like that whole right column.
Yeah, the right. They ate all 3 of the farthest right one. These ones are empty. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was awesome. It was beautiful. It was like the most Pittsburgh thing of all time. I was like, thank you.
Ain't gonna miss these.
Nah, he can take 3. It's going to he'll understand. We did.
Yeah,
we absolutely did. Happy Halloween, Aaron. Enjoy yourself over there. Let's get back on right path, okay? With our heart, our mind, and our fists. That's what it's all about. Jets football, baby.
Fist them up.
Jets! What's up? You guys don't like Fireman Ed anymore? What's going on?
Good question.
I love Fireman Ed. I don't know.
Somebody does.
It's not the
Tell
players.
that to the Jumbotron guy.
It's the team that's trying to phase me out.
What do you mean?
What's that about?
What he said. That was the best part of everybody's Sunday. They put me up on the big screen. I get the crowd going. Now all of a sudden I'm not on it. Me, Mike, Steve, we're not on a big screen anymore. Scott's fucking pissed. I'm not on a big screen anymore. Jets trying to phase me out. I don't know if it's game day ops. I don't know what it is.
What do you mean you're not on a big screen anymore?
We'll see. We'll see Halloween. We'll see when we're back home. We'll see.
Oh, there's going to be so many fireman heads.
Too many.
They're not going to know which one's the one. What if you're up there, but you're not up there? What if it's in tribute to you? How will you feel?
There's only one fireman head. It's me. All right. And again, the Jets are trying to phase me out. I don't love it. I've been, the biggest fan, arguably the most important piece of the franchise for the last 20 years. But, they don't appreciate me, I guess.
No, they do appreciate. Aaron appreciates you. Look, Aaron loves Aaron.
I do.
I'm not talking about Aaron.
I want to see him back up there.
So he wasn't there. There was a noticeable absence.
No, honestly, I didn't know. I heard about it. I didn't notice it. I didn't, because before the game you hear the chant for the first kickoff, but I didn't hear. I didn't pay attention, during the other time. So, I mean, there was a time where they tried to phase out the bikini girls in Green Bay, and there was big backlash.
The bikini girls? Come on.
Big backlash. So, and then there was a backlash, I believe, and they put them back up there. So, sometimes it just takes, a little reset. Yeah.
Shout out John Kuhn, obviously looking out for the bikini girls. I'll be excited to see who's looking out for Fireman Ed over there. We got a lot of season left.
Spanx was a big fan.
We would never guess. Somebody named Spanx would be a big fan. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rodgers. They should got a lotion sponsorship for Spanx, sounds like.
Yeah. Jergens.
At least underwear.
The bikini girls, I didn't know they were getting phased out of Green Bay.
Don't love that.
AJ?
It's a classy organization there. I think they didn't really, it was a little too risque for a little bit.
Whoa.
Well, what about all the dudes that are shirtless all the time?
Well, I think they were cheese tops to their swim trunks.
No, I just looked it up.
They were cheese.
It wasn't.
It wasn't what?
It wasn't cheese tops. It was just normal bikini.
Well, what's going on with Fireman Ed, though? That's a real question.
Legit.
What's going on with Fireman Ed? I don't like
What
that he's
happened?
taking to social media going.
Yeah, just don't want me
Who,
no more.
who would make that decision to phase him out? Who?
It would have to be a decision. And Fireman Ed is 100% right. Like, somebody had to make that decision. Like, there's things that happen with our show and things that are said, and I'm like, somebody had to have made that decision. I would like to know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to know who that person is so we can figure that out. Because that's not just something you slip. Like, Fireman Ed, we're not going to show him all.
Yeah.
No, he just did. We just missed him.
That
It's like
comes
that
from-
guy's standing up on fucking something.
That comes from one place. That's the top. That was Ambassador Johnson.
Oh, you think Woody said, see you, Salah, see your Fireman Ed, I don't want any more fucking balls.
Wholesale changes.
Yeah, Salah might have been holding them together. Like, hey, Woody, make sure Fireman Ed's on there.
Guy runs towards fires, let's never forget it.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Where are you?
We'll see you tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed today. Have a good one. Goodbye. Right on cue.
Yeah.
Now, we'll set a countdown on TV. It's about a second and a half, 2 seconds off the clock that's right up there. So, I don't know which one's right, which one's wrong, but we went right in the middle of both of them. Shohei just locks that fucker right there.
But
wait. He just sits that thing right up there.
He's awesome.
He
He's
is
so
the
good.
intimidator.
That's very
like Genty in the
He's
back.
Dale Earnhardt
6'5"
of baseball. He's
Why don't
Dale
they walk?
Earnhardt.
Ty, are they going to walk him? They're going to start walking him, Ty?
Every pitch.
What do you think, dickhead? No, they're not going to fucking walk him. It's the World
Why?
Series. All right?
So?
Because Garrett
If they
Cole's
got a
got some
base
big
open-
fucking nuts himself. He's a competitor. He's the leadoff batter. Not
Oh, they're playing
walk
the
him.
Yankees.
You
They're playing the
nuts.
Yankees. I forgot.
Jesus.
I didn't know. That was a good question. I thought strategy
It
wise.
is.
Now,
still-
in
they're
certain
probably still walking
situations,
him.
maybe you don't want to pitch to
Yeah,
him.
I
But
didn't
when,
say when he's leading off the game. I said again.
well, he
you know,
bats leadoff, so a lot of times he's going
In
to
the
be the
first
first
inning,
guy
yeah.
up there. No, they're not going to walk him. Okay, just like the Dodgers aren't going to walk Judge, and they're not going to walk State, and they're not going to walk
okay.
Soto.
Well,
This is
especially
good.
if Shohei's pitching.
This is good on good. Okay, it's good on
Is
good
it?
here.
Is it? Because it could be great on good if they let Shohei take the bump. And that's all I'm asking.
We'll see. You know what? Actually, I hope he pitches. Guy hasn't pitched all fucking year. Yeah, let's go ahead, throw him out in the World Series. Let's see what he does.
You don't want that.
You don't want that.
You don't.
I think they do, brother.
Yeah, I think Gump's right. I think we do. Best closer in baseball in Cleveland.
Fresh off a Tommy
This
yawn.
guy's unhittable. This guy's unhittable. He fucking blows 2 games in a row to the Yankees. They say, bring it.
Yeah,
bring
but
it. Bring
the
it.
Yankees haven't had to experience 13 million people watching in Japan. That's a whole different type of
Oh,
pressure.
really?
This Yankees team.
Because guess
has.
what? 2 of the greatest Japanese players of all time played for the Yankees. Fucking Godzilla Matsui. and Masahiro Tanaka, okay?
Of course.
So guess what? The Yankees are long versed with Japanese people watching games. And there's also quite a few Japanese people living in New York City.
Yeah, exactly. And they're all pulling for who?
No.
Yeah.
The ghost of Hideki Matsui. Ghostiya Matsui.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They're pulling for the Intimidator.
No. They're not.
It's a win-win.
They're not.
That bat's got to be at about 11 feet high when he's standing.
He's got a big bat.
Is he gonna have some real estate in Yankee Stadium too?
Yeah, he should. Right behind,
like
right
every
behind
game,
home plate.
he's behind home plate.
I think they're graphics.
They are.
Yeah.
They just put them on the little deal there.
Yeah, it's good business. Like, how many people are watching Japan? 13 million. Sweet. All right, we need to figure out how to get marketing to 13 million Japanese people.
Yeah. Let them know when he's up.
Cannot allow that.
They won't. WB Mason ain't gonna go for that.
Oh yeah, I seen some people getting up and leaving early back there in that Yankees behind the.
When? Not during the playoffs. You didn't.
I was there during the playoffs. We left.
We were. Well,
we left.
That game was over. Yankees were up 8-1, and we had to go watch Triple G fight later that night.
That was awesome.
It was. That was a great.
We
night.
went down to the garden, did some gardening.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good time. That Yankees little suite area there.
It was incredible. Taking a piss next to Rudy Giuliani. Kidding me?
How you guys how you boys doing?
Yeah. He
It's
didn't wash his
interesting.
hands after he pissed. But
Yeah, he got in and out quick.
Of course not.
I don't know if there was a sanitizer outside. You know,
There might
somebody
have been.
waiting for
One of his guys.
We were already pissing though. That thing got shut down. I'm already in the club.
Unless you're pooping, it
All of a
doesn't.
sudden, Giuliani pulls up right next to me.
Well, when you're shaking hands like Giuliani is, you can't be holding your ding dong and then
Did he shower that day?
He took. I think. Did he have? He didn't have his pants at his ankles at the urinal.
Oh man, at the urinal.
He might have.
What a move! What a power move!
Allegedly.
He did not. I just.
That's the alpha move, though. If he
Classic
did.
urinal joke. Classic urinal joke. There was only like 6 of us in there though, and they shut it down, and it was all of us and Giuliani.
Yep.
What a terrible time for him to come into the bathroom. Hey, what's going on, Rudy?
Yeah.
Hey, boys, quite a game.
Was it an Arnie Palmer situation? Or?
I didn't take a look.
Yeah. That's why he had to take his pants off.
Let's go. He did not. Let's go to a break. Okay. On the other side, we'll do everything DB, good D, bad D, and we'll wrap up some massive football stories.
Hell yeah.
Save them for the third hour because the conversation could be very good.
Mm-hmm.
Tua's playing football again.
Mm-hmm. Love to see it.
It was on the morning show. It was on the Today Show this morning, national news.
Oh, the morning.
Are they up in arms or what? Are they okay with it?
Controversial return. That's what it was. I'm like, what's so controversial? What's so controversial? Doctors cleared this
Who's
guy.
that?
Doctors cleared him.
Doctors are controversial.
One
these
day
days.
after it happened.
But I thought didn't we trust doctors? Isn't that the thing?
Only certain things.
Depends on what they say.
No.
Who you are.
Tua's a fucking dog, okay? I never loved this guy more after that interview yesterday.
We'll talk about it on the other side. We'll do everything DB, good D, bad D. We also got Jerry Jones going back on the radio station. He said he fired motherfuckers.
Yep.
He had some more. Yeah, maybe our players suck. But also maybe the players suck more. Basically what he said.
Yeah, essentially.
I know everybody wanted me to sign Derrick Henry. I said I didn't have enough money. We fucking did have enough money. I didn't know he was going to be this good. And also, you think he'd be this good on our fucking team? Have you seen our team?
Not a chance.
It's kind of what he said.
Yeah.
Basically.
Everybody's saying Derrick Henry's having his career year. Holy hell. You think he'd be doing that with our team? We fucking suck, brother.
Terrible.
That's what Jerry Jones. Let's get to a break. All that and more.
Yep.
What a tease. On the other side, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 5.
Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it. And your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. And if you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who play for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
I had no idea what to expect whenever I came out here to Utah.
Shock that.
Yeah,
Shock. I can't make it. Steve Smith Sr. Ladies and gentlemen, Pac-12 champion, head coach of the Utah Utes football team, pulling in on a Harley-Davidson Sportster, I do believe, Coach Kyle Whittingham.
Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wished for. None left over for y'all. I'm locking the fridge door at the crib, cutting hits. I read through the catalog, came to the conclusion no one's touching this. Just finished the maiden voyage, hopping off the Mayflower. Said I'm shot to kill them off, whatever it take. Now sing the boats, I'm at home. I'm selfish with the goals.
I mean, you got to do it. It is 34 degrees out here in the back-to-back Pac-12 champions. Mighty Utah student section has been here in abundance. They've been loud. In today's a day where they showcase to the world that it's not just Mormons and soaking in Utah. No. It's great football and an incredible fan base. They've been so kind. I appreciate the hell out of you all. Have you ever thought something negative about a kicker before in your entire life?
Yes.
All right, relax, dude. Okay. Boston Connor was drinking with Dwayne Wade last night. $225,000. Let's remember this day forever, Cameron. You know that 29 out of the last 30 home games that happens right here at the University of Utah
the Utah Utes win. Cam Rising said yesterday, we don't lose at home, and today, they ain't losing. This place is going to be soaking in celebration this evening. You guys were absolutely phenomenal. This morning, you showed everybody that this is a town you don't want to play. I am jacked, dude.
Lighting's great. All right, here we are on the NFL Pro homepage. Let's step into the film room. Show you how quickly, how easily we can find any play from any week. This is week 2. Find a play result. Interceptions, of course. One of the best interceptions I've seen ever. Not the one against Tua. Let's go to Cam Taylor-Britt. Gives Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to pick which camera angle we want, broadcast or sideline. I'm going to go with the broadcast view. This is just a quick, easy example of how quickly you can use this NFL Pro tool. Awesome, awesome tool. I mean, unbelievable interception. Let's go, baby.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our spooky, humble abode, the Thunderdome. It's Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football is happening. It's a very spooky time. Halloween is right around the corner. Football season is in full bloom, and we have 75 to 80 degree weather here in Indianapolis, Indiana. The leaves are turning. The bodies are sweating. Life is good. That's AJ Hawk. AJ, you feeling spooky after your big Halloween festival at your house this weekend?
I am. Your Halloween voice is impressive. Really
AJ
is.
Hawk has an estate that is over 30,000 feet.
No.
It spans 14 acres. He had an 8-acre tent that hosted a Halloween party this weekend at his estate.
Miles of tunnels.
All the ghouls and goblins came around.
You talking about Hawk Manor?
I'm talking about Hawk Manor. Casa de Hawk Manor, where one tunnel leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another person's mega mansion in Ohio.
And a torture room.
That's spooky.
It's like it's a 30-mile tunnel. 30-mile tunnel out there.
Happy Halloween in Ohio. The Toxic Table's here. It is Halloween season, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's a couple seasons.
We are here.
Yeah, we are very much here. And the decorations in the Thunderdome are wonderful. Legitimately, they're absolutely
fucking
wonderful.
spooky. This thing is fucking huge.
Yeah, it's very large. I think on the screen you can tell. That's probably how big the buffaloes are going to be. The bison.
That's not big enough.
Maybe not even that big.
That's pretty big. I mean, it's pretty. If you put that up on a stage and that's
Not
a bison,
outside a stadium. That's not big outside of a stadium.
I'm just talking as a human with eyeballs. This fucker's big.
Yeah, walking by it, it's big.
Yeah.
This thing's 12 feet tall. Okay, what is the bison?
12 to 14, was it?
Okay, so this is the size of the bison that's going to be up on a stage or whatever. It's pretty big. Now, granted, to AJ's point, if you back up a bit and you compare its size to the size of a stadium, it's going to be small.
16.
16, so it's 4 feet
Okay,
bigger than
that's
that.
a pretty big bison.
Okay, yeah. I think it's going to be big.
I don't know now.
Wimby out.
We may need some reference. Can someone stand next to it just to...
It does look like Wemby a little bit. We have a
Can
basket.
someone stand in between its legs? Like
Yes, for sure.
how far do you come up?
Put your head up.
Right to the dong.
Pretty easily.
Ish.
No, there's no dong.
That's
It's
the
just a
on-off
skeleton.
switch.
Dong's an organ. Duh.
Anyways, happy Halloween season, everybody. Football's awesome. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tony's here. 9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D. Darius J. Butler is here.
Yes, sir.
D-Butch, we will get to Good D, Bad D in a matter of moments. There's some news circulating the internet Diana Rossini, host of The Scoop, she is saying that there is a chance that Cooper Kupp has already been shopped by the Los Angeles Rams around the NFL. They are actually, the Los Angeles Rams that is, are willing allegedly to pay some of the 2024 salary cap to make a deal happen even more. They are seeking a second-round pick, says Diana Rossini, Mike Silver, and Jordan Rodriguez. Rodriguez. That's a massive ordeal.
Yeah. Huge.
If you think about the Devontae Adams conversation that just took place 2 weeks ago, if you think about the offseason with Brandon Ayuk conversation that happened, wide receiver market seemingly good for some teams who haven't made a move thus far, and maybe even teams that just debuted a brand new quarterback and they're taking more shots. As soon as this little scoop from Scoop City started dabbling around the internet world, there was one man in a cowboy hat that said, wait a minute, Cooper Kupp's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Is that genuinely how you feel? And how many teams are looking at it that way, you think?
Well, yeah, it's genuinely how I feel because we were, involved in the other two wide receivers that were up for grabs potentially, you could say, this year, as in Devontae and then out in San Francisco. What?
Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah. Refuse to name names. I respect it.
Well, yeah. I mean, he held us hostage for 3 months. So.
You sound like Antonio Pierce 1-7 when he was talking about Devontae.
But so there's no reason.
This guy held us up. He said.
There's no reason to think that we wouldn't be involved in the Cooper Kupp and offstage. And Connor said to me, he's going to the Chiefs, and it's hard not to think that. But I'm ready to be hurt again.
Okay, so Chiefs will be looking for weapons. I assume they always are. Trade deadline November 5th.
Mm-hmm.
That is what it is. November 5th is trade deadline day. November 5th. That is trade deadline day.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all that's happening that day.
And that night,
get out and trade deadline.
That's right.
Yep.
Get out and trade, baby.
That's right. And the day after, the only conversation is going to be about the trade deadline.
Yes. We didn't get this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
We didn't get this cheerleader gal.
Jeez.
I wanted her.
Jeez.
I wanted him.
That's going to be the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Trade deadline, November 5th. Obviously, everybody knows that. Cooper Kupp being available is a big deal. He's still a player, still a baller right now?
Yeah, still a baller. The biggest thing with Cooper Kupp has been healthy. Yeah. Staying on the field. That's been kind of the thing throughout his career. Obviously, he does a lot of the dirty work, does a lot of inline blocking, a lot across the middle, takes a lot of shots. So, obviously, in this game, as you get older, it's harder to stay healthy. But when he is healthy, he's dynamic.
What is the name of the podcast? Nine Dime?
Yeah, Nine and Dime.
Is that over?
It'll never be over with those two.
That was Stafford and Cooper Kupp. Remember, two quarterbacks on the field. They seem to see the field the same exact way, which is why Cooper Kupp had such a prolific start to his career. Nobody knew about this guy. Comes out of nowhere. Him and Stafford light up the entire world. Win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Now he's available to go elsewhere.
Huh.
Yeah, Chiefs. Feels like the Chiefs.
$9 million is what he's owed the rest of this season, I believe. Now, if the report's true, Rams are willing to take on some of that, and then he's basically $20 million the next 2 years. So that's not.
Yeah, that's Chiefs written all over it.
Second round pick though. Weren't they saying that was too high for Devontae? Like nobody was gonna give that up.
And then it ended up being a third round conditional second round pick.
So what do we think here?
What if you're Chiefs? You're a good team. You're drafting at the end of the second. What if does that change anything?
Yeah, and if.
I think it would be a good move for the Chiefs. Once again, it's about if he's healthy, him with Patrick Mahomes, that'll open things up more for Worthy and Hardman and the speed guys. If he can work that middle, him and Travis Kelce work.
Is Hollywood coming back this year?
Think about how many.
I think he's done for the year.
Okay. Think about how many other quarterbacks think to themselves, must be nice to be a Chiefs quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Andy Reid drawing up plays. His record off of a bye week, insane. Last week they didn't even really play offensive football. They still win the game somehow. And Andy Reid's going to get credit because he's the head coach, as he should. But it's like they are very aggressive in making moves. They are very much so, hey, let's win now and forever. It's like the way they go about doing their business is the way I think every fan of every other team would wish their team would operate. It's like, we got our quarterback locked in for long term, yeah? Doesn't feel disrespected at all? Nope, okay. Works his ass off? Yeah, okay. We got the most popular tight end in the history of tight ends. Superstar, is he one of the GOATs? Yeah? Okay, let's keep him. Let's keep our Spags defensive coordinator, our entire culture there. Let's add weapons. Let's get better here. Let's have a quarterback who, even if he's having his worst start that he's ever had. I think he's had this many picks this far into a season, but that year he had 18 touchdown throws instead of like 5 or 6 this year versus. So this is like the worst start he's ever had. And it's like, still we believe. Let's add more weapons. It's not you, it's us. We need to do this. It's like the way Veach operates over there, the way Reed operates over there. For Patrick Mahomes, who's obviously one-of-one talent in this entire thing, even though his stats aren't saying that this year. And I think you could dig into that even more for some other years. It's like that organization wants to win. And the fact that we all just go, the Chiefs are going to get this guy, the Chiefs are going to get that guy, is an indictment. I don't know if you're allowed to say that in a good fashion, but it is, of how they've operated over there. It's like, of course, they're going to try to get the best player available at a position that they already have. Like, that is Chiefs football. It must be so good to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan, AJ.
Well, they want to be there. Think about it. If you're Cooper Kupp, I'm sure he has ties. He loves where he's at, but he's like, hey, if they're going to trade me, absolutely send me to KC. Let's go get another ring. Like, why? And he's a guy, Cooper Kupp's a guy, too, you don't have to worry about. He's never had a history of coming in and being an issue and, saying I'm not getting enough targets, anything like that. He seems to be able to do all the little dirty work and seems like a no-brainer, actually.
They say he's a quarterback at wide receiver, so you'd assume he'd be able to pick up the offense relatively quickly. You would just assume that he'd be able to do that. Now, he also, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but the way him and Stafford talk, he runs some of those Travis Kelce routes as well. He's just fine in the coverage. So if he's able to do that, Travis able to do that, Rasheed, is he?
They're saying like playoffs maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll be here regularly.
I think he's probably going to end up being out for the season. Optimistic that if they make a deep playoff run, he'll be able to come back. But.
So what Rasheed was able to do with the Rasheed routes that were becoming the Travis routes as well at the same time early, you think you'd be able to pick that up. But it sucks that it's the Chiefs.
Yeah. But, there's been other teams in it. Like the Ravens were allegedly in it for Devontae. You would assume.
What about the Bucs?
You'd assume.
Yeah,
the
Buccaneers need a weapon.
And then, what about the Jets? Jets, hey, you know what? Let's try him too. Let's try Cooper Kupp too. Let's bring in Cooper Kupp too.
Be sick.
Maybe that's what we need. Maybe that gets this whole thing going.
Maybe Ambassador Johnson.
Yeah.
It's like, we need one more. We need one more.
Another one.
Hassan Reddick coming back. They basically did just have another midseason trade.
Yeah.
They've never seen him on the field.
We just talked to him. You can't rule out Bean and the Bills making another move. He said they're not done. If they bring in Cooper Kupp.
Bean never stops.
Never.
That Bean is.
You can probably throw in Howie in that too.
I'm FaceTiming him.
Yeah.
I'm FaceTiming him.
He did say always cooking.
I don't know if this is the right move journalistic-wise. I'm FaceTiming at Gio right now.
Yeah, but if he doesn't pick up, we know he's on the phone with the Rams.
Yeah.
We don't know that. That's what I'm saying.
He did say they don't have any cap space, though.
That's what I'm saying.
They're paying him.
We're live. We are live. I'm live. Hey, I'm live right
Just hung up on McVay.
Hey, can you hear me? So he said,
"Holy shit! Wow!
Okay,
are you kidding me?"
So obviously everything just went muted there.
Yep.
Just talked to source Sis at a general manager level around the NFL. They said normally or sometimes whenever it says the teams have been calling or it's being shopped or whatever, if it's a team calling thing, maybe it is from the team saying like, hey, we don't have anybody calling, but is available, but inside the building don't want to deal with being the ones that are doing the shopping. So you never know. He said there's so many different ways that this could go. Could have been an agent saying, hey, teams are calling for Cooper Kupp, not saying in this particular situation. He's just saying in general it is. But normally, anytime something is fed to a multiple sources like this, it is certainly a hey-oh, like, how are you doing? Keep moving. Did not ask him if he's going to be the one calling them. I feel like that would have been a little bit too much.
Sure, didn't have to.
Middle of the show.
Yeah.
But from his standpoint, the general manager that I just spoke to, maybe for Buffalo, it's like anytime this stuff gets out public, it is like, it is like a kind of like a, hey, yo, here we go. And you never know if a team is actually calling. You never know who you're bidding against. It's like a full thing. Shout out to the source, Sis, for answering that. But he's snooping around everything.
I mean, look, they were on Fox. You put it on the YCam, and we all reacted exactly how you would have expected.
What you guys do?
Everything
Just
you
like,
said.
just holy shit! You got to be full. Wow.
He didn't. You guys.
What?
That was not what was happening.
Okay.
I respect you keeping the conversation between you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good journalistic standards.
Well, if they heard what we heard,
Yeah, we all know
people
that's
in
not what
Buffalo
he
be
said.
losing their fucking mind right now.
No, that is not.
Not just
that is
there.
not real with how cool he sounded. What are we even talking
Like
about?
switching Josh Allen for Matt Stafford, I didn't even think about it until he.
Everybody said that. They did not. That did not happen. You guys are the worst. We can't do anything here.
Well, just
He's a good man. He did say, though. He did say that. You never know what's real, what isn't real. And I think that's kind of a big game. But what is real at this point, you would assume, is Cooper Kupp is available. Speaking of
Would they
being
want it? Would they want it out though? Sorry, would the Rams want that out? That they'd be willing to pay some of that salary?
So basically, what he was reiterating, even though these boys were hearing something vastly different, apparently, he was reiterating that, nothing like this happens without a
Is Stafford on?
There's a reason, that this is happening. Is kind of his point.
Fitz from the scoop too. He's for sure getting traded.
Okay.
Who else is on the scoop?
What?
Rodriguez.
No, it's
Chase Daniel.
Okay, that's what I got.
Oh, that's okay.
I get it now.
Makes sense.
Yep.
We are a Dan Orlovsky program. We are a
Correct.
Dan Orlovsky program, but more football minds in the football world is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Especially whenever you get a chance to visit
The facility.
every single morning. That show. Hey, let's
Bang.
go, boys.
Top to going right
All
now.
players hosting. I enjoy
notch.
the shit out of that. Seems like the next level of it all. Chase Daniel, though, did say, hey, Orlovsky.
I could do it.
I saw that.
do this too,
I did
bitch.
see that.
That was crazy.
I respect it.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Nice little move.
Good
Even had
shot.
his whole 4-hour workday on the screen there.
Okay, see, that was Gumpy's big thing.
Jeez.
Yeah, Gumpy's like...
Almost saw where I thought there was work boots sitting in the corner too. It was crazy.
Okay, so Gumpy's the next ship painter up there in Canada. So, anytime somebody talks about work days and stuff like that, that's going to be the immediate response. But I like him kind of saying, hey, backup quarterback, smart, high football IQ guy. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
I like it because he put his name and his face on it.
Me too.
In the day, in 2024, people would throw a little shade or put up a tweet like, "Oh, you're the only guy." Nah, me quote tweet your shit.
Yep.
Hey, me too.
I do this too, bruh.
Yeah,
Bitch.
Is that what he said?
Pretty much.
Basically.
I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that's basically what he said.
Okay. All right. Good for football. Football's in a good place.
Yep.
Speaking of being in a good place, Tua, great place.
Yep.
Going to be back on a football field.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently Tua Tagovailoa has been cleared to play football against the Cardinals this weekend. Obviously, he was put on IR, so it was a 4-week hiatus. They had a bye in there. They had a loss to the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis during that amount of time. There's a lot of speculation on what the future looks like for Tua Tagovailoa, his family, what he should do, how he should do it. I guess over the past few weeks, he's been meeting with a lot of different neurologists and doctors all the way up in Pittsburgh. Obviously, if you remember Dr. Will Smith in a concussion movie that kind of heralded from Pittsburgh because of the doctors and the science and everything that has happened with the brain there, let alone the Miami Dolphins doctor for final clearance, I guess, is happening this week or whatever the case is. And Tua did a full press conference just kind of embracing the fact that there's going to be people that probably disagree a little bit. Then he was even asked about a Guardian cap, and here's his response.
Will you wear a Guardian cap?
Nope.
Why?
Personal choice.
He also said in there that he loves football till death, brother.
That's right,
And
yeah.
anytime you say that, obviously people are like, that's what we're talking about. That is what we're talking about. But from the very beginning, obviously we don't like seeing Tua in prime time lose his consciousness. And the way his body locks up is incredibly scary. I've had a couple friends that have ended up that way. Just saw one of my friends actually that ended up that way in Austin Collie, who's doing very well right now, but had some situations concussion-wise. It's like in prime time scares a lot of people. But the immediate response from everybody was like, yeah, Tua shouldn't play anymore because I wouldn't play anymore. Tua shouldn't play because I wouldn't. Looking back on it, if I was Tua, I wouldn't play. Like that. in the entirety of it all, this was going to be a Tua and a doctor either clearing him or not clearing him situation, because Tua is clearly a football guy. And that's why the Guardian Cap answer was so quickly a nope, because he's like, what do you want me to do, put a target now on? Like, you want me to just say, like, yeah, this is it? So the way Tua views this and has viewed this the entire time, I think is vastly different than how it's been covered by a lot of people on the Today Show, the national news. They read it as controversial return. And I guess there is controversy because anytime there's a primetime concussion, it causes a lot of conversation, especially if it's about a quarterback. But like, I think Tua probably says the only controversy was whether or not a doctor was going to clear me.
Yeah.
If a doctor was going to clear me to play football and make hundreds of millions of dollars and do the thing that I love, I was going to do that. So interesting the way the conversation's around it. I think none of us want to see Tua get hurt again. But I think from an actual reality standpoint, Tua was playing football if a doctor was going to give him clearance from the beginning, I think, AJ.
No question. And I respect the fact that Tua stood up there and gave his answers. He didn't feel like he had to sit there and explain himself over-explain. He said, nope, personal choice. That's it. Like, yeah, okay, we get it. Like, you don't have to sit and go into this whole spiel of what you think you should say. Like, I love it. I love what he's doing.
I like his tats look really cool, too.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's
Unbelievable.
Thank God.
I mean, it's going to be scary watching him, obviously. Like, people, I mean, you're worried about everybody, but, like, especially a guy like that you've seen in prime time have things like that happen.
Bated breath, obviously, with every play. Just like when Alex Smith went back out there, and then Aaron Donald was a backpack on him. I mean, that was legit, like... But every single play, and Ty, you brought that up earlier when I was like, so Tua's just like we all thought, like Tua's going to play football again if a doctor lets him play. I think the thing is, if he does get another, oh my God, that's the big worry.
It won't be good, but like everyone who plays in the NFL understands the inherent risk in a situation like this. Like, you think the NFL wants something catastrophic to happen to him on the field? Like, absolutely not. So if a doctor did clear him, like, I don't think it's one of those things where you see in like some of these movies where like it's like a shady doctor and they have ulterior motives. Like, if he wasn't okay to return, like, he wouldn't be coming back. Ultimately, it's his decision, but the doctors have looked at everything, and we did hear, like, the day after he had the concussion, he wasn't having any symptoms. So, like, yeah, he's had several of these.
Which throws me off a lot.
A little bit.
I don't know what
a little bit, exactly.
Because I saw him.
And that could be kind of tongue-in-cheek, you know? Like, I mean, you know, people respond to concussions differently. Maybe this one wasn't as bad as some of the previous ones, but, like, there is a chance he gets another concussion. Like, it's football. He plays quarterback.
Pretty hot chance.
He's going to get hit. So it's kind of just one of those things. But at the end of the day, it's his decision. And the doctors think he's okay enough to go out there and be in the line of fire, and that's what he wants. So it is what it is.
As a person that watched that offense on the field, I didn't want to say do their thing, but just on a field in front of me. And then you see Tyree come in, and you just don't really. And then you got
cardio.
Really nothing happening anywhere.
Waddle.
It's like, how good was Tua?
Yeah.
I think that is.
Legit.
And they said that on the national news this morning, so I appreciate them. They're like, he was the number one passer in the NFL last year. And it was like, yeah, like we're talking about so you just want him to retire. This guy is at the top of the game, just got paid, and he's a doctor's clearing him. A lot of people are saying he shouldn't go back. I don't know if that was ever the case. And if Tua hops back in there, does Miami have a chance to go out and run at this? And then if he gets hurt again, what's the reaction? You know, if another concussion happens, what's the reaction?
I mean, the human part of it, obviously, you can see why people would be concerned for his health. But to a football player, you got to make your own choice. And this is just kind of how we're wired. You know, we know plenty of people post-football, you know, kind of fucked up. And if you ask them, hey, would you do it again? 98% of us would. That's just the nature of the game. So he's got to go out there and play, and that's the only mindset you can have if you touch that field. You can't go out there scared. Like, hey, part of it is getting injured. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But he's going to go out like DeMar Hamlin died on the field and then came back and he's playing football again. Like, that's just that's
and very proud of it.
Yeah, he's starting. He's playing some of his best football. So, I mean, we expected Tua to be back in this position. Obviously, we want the best for him and his family going forward, and that's on him, on that man to make his own choice. And I'm glad that he's made it. He's healthy, and obviously, as a Dolphin fan, I'm looking forward to him out there spinning again.
He's so good. I think again, Gumpy, you said this in the first hour, I believe, or maybe yesterday. I forget when you said it. You're like, to all the people that maybe didn't think Tua was as good as he is, look at the Dolphins without him. And then whenever he drops back in this weekend, I assume it's going to be without a hitch off and running again, Gump.
Legitimately holding the franchise together, because we saw what happened when he didn't play. Like, McDaniel can't dial it up with anybody else, clearly. Like it was dog shit the whole time. Never did anything.
well,
we're the worst
there were some moments.
They were the worst scoring team in the NFL after being the best offense all last year.
So you get dropped back in, have a massive game one, you think, or what's it take?
I think they're still going to try and pound the rock because they've been running the ball well. I think it is going to be. I don't think it's going to be like take off right away. I think it's going to take a game or two, but I like our chances against the Cardinals. They have been running the ball well, and like I said, the defense has played well.
Got the Cardinals, then you're at Buffalo, at Los Angeles. Will they have Cooper Kupp then or not?
Ooh.
Then Vegas, New England, at Green Bay, Jets, Houston, San Fran, Cleveland, Jets. Obviously, every single game in the NFL is going to be difficult, except for maybe against the Panthers. Do you get it?
What?
The Panthers is only.
Yeah, they're bad.
They're a bad football team.
You think they have a chance to turn around this year? I don't know why.
A lot of football there.
A lot of games. What's their future? What's it look like? Like, what's the next 2 or 3 years look like?
Them diamond rings and football teams torn this boy apart. He's talking about the Panthers.
They're going to draft Quinn Ewers, and he's just going to make everything okay.
I think so.
Not!
Jeez. What?
I tell you what, they better hope that fucking Tom Brady reincarnated, cloned, is coming out of the draft.
How
next
many
year.
of them? I mean, they need like 4 or 5 of them.
8. You're right. They should trade for the first 15 picks in the draft next year.
They don't. They already traded their shit away. That's why they didn't get the first pick this year.
Tepper should just start shelling cash out. Hey, we don't have assets. I'll give you $750 million for the third pick.
In a bag, just like A-Rod and them got for old buddy tonight, $960 million or whatever it is.
Exactly.
I don't know if you're not allowed to just billionaire to billionaire under the table, couple $100 million trade
Broncos
for
would be in a
draft
good
picks.
spot.
I think you're allowed to pick up some salary cap. Obviously, there's been some interesting trades that have taken place. That place that talked shit to him on the signs, they were back.
Yeah.
They said, "This is fun. Are you going to raise the prices again or something?"
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I love the fact that this place knows that Tepper has to drive by
Yep.
every day. This guy's got to see what we're saying.
Seeing it.
We're some of the only people that get a chance to get a message directly to Tepper while Tepper's by himself or in the back of a car. And I like that they're like, you can try to raise the prices again this year after what we're seeing out there? What is the future in Carolina? I hope it's good because it feels like these Panthers fans are really getting embarrassed right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is. Good luck out there.
Did
team.
you see,
rough patch.
Did you see the other restaurant sign? Not going to say what team it was or is, but it said trust the CLI, and then the M and the B had fallen down a couple rows. I don't know what team or what city.
What did it say? It said what?
Trust the CLI, and then the M and the B had fallen down a few rows.
Like intentionally, or are they just like
intentionally.
that?
I think that's about
It was intentionally.
Trust the climb.
I don't know what NFL team it is, but
What
It's not an NFL
team?
team. It's the only team in that state, though. I think you're talking about West Virginia Mountaineers.
oh,
I don't know if there's a road to the Big 12 championship anymore.
What?
Never say never.
Oh, no.
Are you sure?
There's still a way.
There's a chance. Okay, it's not
There
zero.
is.
There's a chance it's not zero for West Virginia, but boy, I think a lot of Mountaineers fans have lost the trust in that particular climb years ago, and then we're reminded of it these past couple weeks as massive games at home. Massive games at home for West Virginia. Primetime games, night games. All of West Virginia shows up. The marketing, the merch, the storyline, the fans, the setting, everything.
Coal miners.
Big.
Jerseys.
Top line. Everything. Top of the line.
Yeah.
And then you just get your ass beat 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
They fought.
In the conference.
Yeah.
Like, that is not just like against some other team you don't know well. These are teams that you know. Like,
At home.
at home, we got with guys that have been around a long time. And it's like, at what point do you just get to keep just rolling, just doing that whole thing? And without a real hope for the Big 12 championship. That's what I was selling myself on.
Hope.
Sure.
Every week, it's like, I can still get hot. GG can still start running wild. GG can still get hot. That team can win a few games. Here we go. We can do it. And then you lose against two conference opponents that are going to be at the top at the end. And it's like, does it even matter if you get hot? Because are we going to be able to do anything? And it's like, it's a bummer. It is not fun. It is not fun that is like how West Virginia fans are viewing Just like Carolina Panthers, not fun.
Nope. Yeah.
You think West Virginia fans are happy to put Trust to Kai and then have M&B falling off like it's a cliff? You think they're happy about that?
Probably crying while they're doing it.
Yeah, and then the I's next.
Yeah.
And the L's have been coming in abundance.
They'll leave
And now
the L.
see if they can entrust anything again. That is the problem with that sign you just talked about. And that's long-term effects at West Virginia. But I got faith. Let's keep climbing.
Keep going.
Just punt on the season. Start recruiting now. Let's get some 5-stars in there.
All of them.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that guy's dynamite in living rooms around the U.S.
Oh, noise here.
Yeah. Fucking microwave goes off. He poops his pants in there.
That's not what happened.
Well, got a little noise here. A little noise, huh? A little noise going on.
I did. I was a little worried, but it was the night before a big game.
True.
It was the day
And
before a big
it
game.
was a loud noise.
Yeah.
It was big noise. A big bottle fell into a big stage.
Diggs was high up there.
And there was a big bop that came out.
Yeah.
It's on me.
Diggs kind of cursed your season.
Yeah, I'll eat that.
He did.
I'll eat that.
I'll tell you what. Talking to Coach Saban every single week, it is hard to take some people serious now going forward.
Sure.
You know, with the way he handles himself, with the way he talks, with the way he operates, the way he looks at things, his philosophical views on football. It's like, I can't believe this guy's coaching against some of these other, like, of course this guy won so much. This guy is football IQ, leadership IQ, and he's a seller.
Yep.
I mean, he's like perfect for college football coaching. Now, granted, I think if he got another shot at the NFL in a different circumstance, maybe a little bit, you know, we get maybe some different players in there, some different positions, able to do some stuff. I think he would assume, and I believe it to be true, especially after getting to know him, he would have had success in the NFL as well, but he obviously greatest college coach of all time. It's like, whenever I talk to him and then I get to know some of these other people, you know, other places, I'm like, these guys got no fucking shit. If this is what this guy was like, the way
Amazing, isn't it?
Huh?
Isn't it amazing when you see a guy like Saban and you talk to these elite coaches that have done it for so long, and then you're comparing every other coach that you meet, and you're like, man, this guy's got some presence about him. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. And then you meet other people sometimes, and you're thinking, like,
what?
Okay, I don't know how people commit to play there.
We've met some people, and we've been lucky to meet a lot of people, and with the program. And we'll meet somebody, shake their hand, let's say they're head coach or GM or something, and then they walk away, and we go, "That guy's beating Belichick." That's literally what we said. That's what we say in the NFL for a long time. We think that guy's going to beat Belichick. I don't think so. And then now for me, it's like anytime I talk to these coaches, like they got a chance to be Saban, and then some of them, it's like okay, maybe like Kirby.
Oh,
Kirby.
man.
Kirby's a fucking beast.
Yeah, Kirby.
Dan Lanning.
Lanning in Oregon, obviously he's 8 years old.
Sark seemed awesome too.
Sark was an incredible conversation. Very cool.
Ryan Day.
Very, very. Ryan Day is in such a predicament.
Terrible.
It's a good thing to be Ohio State coach. Terrible thing to be Ohio State coach. I think. And I would assume
the standard. Yeah, the standard. That's what it is, man. Like he knew it. He knows it. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, what would you rather be? A team trying to build them up and find a way, and they're happy if you win 8 or 9 games, or hey, you got to win it all.
Joe Mazzulla said, "I'm happy that people expect us to win." Because if they expected us to lose, that would be devastating or something. I forget the way. Debilitating in that entire thing. Expectations at Ohio State are ridiculous. Expectations at all these places are absolutely ridiculous. It's like Sark down there in Texas. Now everybody's saying they're not ready for SEC.
Real SEC.
Yeah, they're not worried. Think about how hot they started. If they lose a couple games, all of a sudden Sark is like, this guy ain't cut out to do it.
Yeah.
This guy, that college football world is fucking insane. It really is. We want to win now. West Virginia, though, it's been kind of, just we'll figure it out.
Just want to win at some point.
We'll figure it out.
I mean, look at Bama. Bama beats Georgia. They're the number 1 team. It's like, holy shit, Kalen DeBoer. He's the guy. This is perfect. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, get Kalen DeBoer the fuck out of town now.
This guy can't do it. He's wearing a T-shirt while he's coaching?
This guy's not built for Bama.
It's wild, dude.
2 weeks ago.
Kirk being there for 40 years? That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's what it's really tough with him because it is at the point where it almost feels like it probably is time to get somebody new. But he's like 3 wins away from being the winningest coach in the history of the Big Ten. Like that doesn't just happen.
Agreed.
He's a great fucking coach, and it's just tough because it's the same. It's kind of like the same thing with West Virginia. Like Iowa very rarely is going 6-6 or like 5-7. So they're always doing just enough where it's kind of like the expectations were so high and then some years you finish 8-4, or you finish 9-3, and people are disappointed. But then they're looking forward to the next year, so it's never really been like okay, it's time to go. But now it's starting to get to the point where, but it's tough because it's like, look with this guy. I mean, look how many people Iowa sends to the NFL every year.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's a pipeline. Like, and it's just.
I think it's awesome that it's happened.
For
Because
sure.
in college ball, it feels like this is not going to be a thing.
Right.
You know, people are going to be there for a time, not the time.
Yeah.
And that is players, coaches, everything like that. I guess a couple jobs, right? If you have success, you could stay there forever, but you better have success.
Mm-hmm.
And then once in with the new world that we're in.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what Coach Prime keeps doing in Colorado. Because obviously the expectations are much higher in all the transfers that come in, but Colorado was an absolute shithole when it
20
came,
years.
Yeah, when it came to college football. So now you're at a point where they're 4-2 right now, or 5.
Yeah.
He's beat the shit out of Arizona. Like, I think what he's doing there is remarkable. And obviously, you know what's going to happen when Shador leaves from the NFL. He's obviously been a phenomenal quarterback, which a lot of people didn't really believe in on a big level. So I'm interested to see how Coach Prime continues to.
They might win the Big 12.
Yeah, it could.
I mean,
Definitely
there's a chance they
yeah.
win the Big 12. Imagine them in the playoff. That would be awesome to watch. Now, to your point, what does next year look like in the years going ahead? Which leads back to Indiana. It's like Cignetti comes in here. You talk about it being awful in Colorado. Okay, I agree. Colorado had a couple big wins at least over that span. Indiana, I don't think there's many. I mean, during the COVID year, I guess, when Penix.
Yeah, Penix, that was it.
Penix won a couple games during the COVID year. The fans weren't even allowed to watch it, so it's like didn't even really get to be a part of it. It's like Indiana's been a basketball school for so long, and here we are heading down there for game day on Saturday. And good news out of the Curtis Rourke, who's the quarterback, former MAC Player of the Year, who has led this Indiana offense to being the most prolific in the country. They're saying he's going to be back on November 2nd against Michigan State, potentially because of how good surgery went. He's missing on Saturday, which is a bummer. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him because he's obviously a massive piece of this whole thing happening in Indiana. But it's like in the modern world, welcome to it, transfer portal, NIL, you get the right guys, you can flip your entire program. Now, with that being said, if you're flipping programs and knocking off the big programs are going to fire their coaches.
Yep. Exactly.
So now we're just in a very active coaching market, which is great for Jimmy Sexton. Yeah, great for Jimmy Sexton, who's an absolute weapon. But it's like the Kirk Ferentz's. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it probably never happen again. And also, but like, look at Jimbo Fisher. Like, they weren't terrible, but like, athletic departments are willing to be like, you know, hey, we'll pay $75 million to get this guy the fuck out of here. Let's find someone.
Agreed. Everybody,
like acting like winning a national championship is just like you just wake up and do it. It's like realistically, you know, like was Texas A&M ever going to win a national championship with him? Probably not. But like that's the expectation down there.
They're saying Jimbo needs to come to West Virginia because he's a West Virginia guy.
Why not?
That'd be sweet.
Would be sweet. Yeah. Maybe Gruden.
He's a good recruiter.
Yeah, JG.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's that?
I didn't think about John Gruden coming in.
Well, Neil Brown's the head coach of the Mountaineers.
No, he will be for a long time.
He's the keeper of the seat currently.
Yep.
And has been for a while. You know, and has he built the program, made it more popular, made it a better place than whenever he got there? That's the discussion that'll happen. Mm-hmm. You know, that'll happen of it all. Because ultimately, everybody is just the holder of a chair, right? Or a uniform for a program. How is it when you get there? How is it when you leave? And I think that's Joe Mazzulla's big thing whenever he talks about the Celtics. And I've loved hearing him talk about it. This isn't about we're a part of something much bigger. I think Brad Stevens even feels the same exact way. Mm-hmm. We are just the keepers of the chair at certain positions for the Boston Celtics. And whenever we leave, Celtics will continue to live on just like they did before us. It's like every position is kind of like that. Right now, these West Virginia Mountaineers, these coaches, I don't think have made it what it could be. With the NIL, you got a billionaire backer.
Yeah.
You got a billionaire backer who owns Diamondbacks, Kendricks or whatever it is. He's big bank. You got that. You got the brand, okay? Academia, welcoming.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got that. Yeah, you got that.
Welcoming academia in a good place. It's like anywhere can get flipped. Vandy got flipped. Indiana got flipped. Anywhere can go. I'm excited for college ball, man. Yeah. College ball is fucking sweet.
Awesome. Yeah.
Every single week it delivers.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday morning, I think in Bloomington's going to be pretty crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty good. Can't wait.
You guys bringing Mellencamp on?
Cougs?
Cougs is a big. Their indoor was called Mellencamp Pavilion. I don't know if it still is.
John, Cougar Mellencamp? I hope so. You know, I wish we would just play She grew up tall and she grew up right with the Indiana boys on the Indiana 9.
R.I.P.
That's what, we just play that the entire time.
Yeah.
I don't know what you said, Nick. I'm sure it was something incredibly toxic.
No, I believe the Cougar was on Big Noon last week.
Oh, Cougs represent Indiana.
I didn't see him at the Colts game.
Well,
he was probably sitting down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeez.
I can't forget it.
Never. Also, they need to fix.
You remember how cool he looked though at that Pacers game? Holy shit!
Yeah.
You remember that?
By the way,
Gump, were you there? I don't remember.
Good hair,
dude. He was sitting, one leg over the other, toothpick in mouth, quaff.
Oh yeah,
perfect.
Yeah,
leather jacket. I think he had, and they showed him on the jumbotron, like, ladies and gentlemen, John Cougar Mellencamp is here, and he gave like a
little scowl
and a wave, and I was like, my God. That's the coolest motherfucker I have ever seen.
Speaking of coolest motherfucker, I got a chance to hear some of Irsay's ad-libs as part of Dallas's speech. That was awesome.
Don't we need that full game?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Give Jim Irsay a mic, full game.
Good game.
Yeah.
Give it to him. Let him have it. Operational failure, couldn't open the roof.
Sure.
Obviously brought the echo, which helped bring the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Hoosier, baby. Jim's the man.
He is.
He's the man. All right, Jim, go win. Let's go win.
Let's go win.
Go win. Dan Orlovsky did some film on Anthony Richardson. I'll be excited to see his breakdown of that. Obviously, he's on a trajectory up and to the right because that's what the Indianapolis Colts are. The Indianapolis Colts are going to be a problem whenever they...
What? I picked the Colts this past week. You know that.
You tell me your little facial expressions you were making sound like you
I picked the Colts. What do you mean? Like early in the season, I was not in on the Colts, and like they honestly are a squad. Like they could make some noise.
Yeah, we paid everybody to return to the Indianapolis Colts. And the reason was because Chris Ballard said, I think we got the team to go around. We just need a quarterback player or whatever. Gardner Minshew was good. Okay, almost got us into the AFC South Championship, into the playoffs, hosting a playoff game. All we needed was just one more completion, just a little swing. Man. Just a little swing to a running back that I never heard of. If he was able to catch that, score a touchdown against Houston Texans, guess what, C.J. Stroud? Colts are the AFC South champs, and we host a playoff game with Gardner Minshew going to the Pro Bowl. That's what Shane Steichen did. Okay? So if we get a quarterback in here play, not that Gardner Minshew isn't enough, I'm just saying if we get, fourth overall pick quarterback play in here, former Super Bowl champion quarterback play in here, with this team, we can really roll. I think that's how Colts fans genuinely felt. Now we're getting a chance to see AR get back in there. There's some highs, there's some lows. There's like rookie football happening, but that's what we have to expect with Anthony Richardson. He's only played like 10 games in his entire life, seemingly, of football. But the Colts could be if he continues to get better as the season goes on. A lot of season left. 10 more games left. If he continues to go up and to the right, we don't turn the ball over, and Pittman continues to make plays, and Goodson and Sermon and Jonathan Taylor gets back healthy, and we can run the rock the way we've been able to run, why not the Indianapolis Colts?
Why not? I don't see why not.
Why not? Why not go get the Cupster?
Oh,
why not go?
No, Chris Ballard ain't pulling that trigger. He never does. He'll never make a trade, man. It drives me nuts. I'm not even a Colts fan. One time, bring in a star by trade.
Cooper
Kupp. We brought in DeForest Buckner by trade. Just
in the middle of the season. He also cut his hair. He said he wasn't going to cut it until we won a Super Bowl.
Chris Ballard?
Yeah.
Well, he sees that writing on the wall.
Yeah, he knows, well, I'm not going to win one here, so I can go ahead and shave this.
We're winning 2 this decade.
Yep.
Hoosier, baby.
We better.
You heard it.
Yeah, we better. I'm going to steal a chair out of Lucas Oil. I'm going to sneak in the middle of the night. I'm going to steal a fucking seat out of that stadium.
That's your Tea Party revolution for your taxes being used in there?
Yeah, and I'm going to cut a square of the turf out. Is mine. Nice.
Ooh, good coconut.
No taxation without representation, you're going to say?
Bingo.
You want a Super Bowl in next home game, you better start a "We want Flacco."
No,
that's not a bad idea. I heard a couple of those.
AR
Did you?
won the game. AR won the game. What are we talking about? He just won.
Yeah,
he won.
We're talking about, last year, sitting behind Gardner Minshew and learning, sure. Talking about sitting behind Joe fucking Flacco here, okay? He's going to be, he's going to come out like, I don't even know how to describe it next year. I really don't.
Ivy League education of football?
Exactly.
Well, he had Billy Napier down there in Florida.
Yeah.
Who we know now.
He got
Mastermind.
Hey, they're fighting for Billy.
They are fighting for Billy.
Fighting for him.
I like that.
Yeah. I
Billy
like it
Napier.
too.
Got the pulse of the locker room. He's got the boys rolling.
Said he's a fucking hayseed, but he's our fucking hayseed.
They didn't say that.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't hear
They did not.
That is what they said.
They did not say that.
I thought I
That
heard
is not.
I thought I heard that.
You might have heard that, but there's
somewhere.
no way that was said.
Well, you know, tomato.
Speaking of Florida, it turns out, by the way, just so everybody knows, in case they haven't seen the news, that boat guy was a bad guy. Okay, let's not prop him up again.
Oh, the homeless guy.
Oh, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Very surprised by that.
What did he do?
I didn't see
He was
that
living
one
in a
coming.
boat. Yeah.
No,
We
what did
knew.
he do though?
It's
What
more like
happened?
what didn't he do? He pretty much checked all the boxes.
Yeah, he's living in a fucking boat. That's
I thought it was an upstanding.
Really thought he was a good
Not
guy.
all boat livers are bad people.
But yeah,
Agreed.
Jimmy Graham lives on a boat.
I think taped boats probably.
Yeah.
Probably not great. If there's no other option other than the boat, probably interesting guy. If we had to guess.
He was a bad guy.
Yeah, I heard. I've seen a lot of photos of him. Seen a lot of photos of him. Like, yes. I got one of those. Until you look up at the store.
More came out after that, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
So are they talking about cutting the rope and just fucking letting them
Letting him go.
See you, brother.
Talking about blowing up the boat.
Really?
Yeah.
Not down that bay. That's a beautiful bay. Well, especially with the manatees.
Yeah.
You don't want the manatees to have to experience anything like
I don't know.
See, guys?
Protected.
Don't blow it up. Just lay some scunion down on the boat.
that. From the sky?
No, just like, a mounted like machine gun.
From helicopter?
Yeah, exactly.
Just kind of roundabout?
The Coast Guard has them.
Yeah, you could just make a whirlpool beneath them. Just suck them into
suck
the
the boat
sea.
down.
Yeah.
Heard about that. They just, and then
happens all the time.
Wherever they want.
at least once. What's that?
Wherever
That's a
they
Kraken.
want.
That's a Kraken.
Who's they? D-Butt?
We know who they is.
I don't.
I don't.
The ones
know
you
who
can't
they,
see.
them
I
is,
thought they
huh?
made that storm just to take him out.
What's that?
The hurricane. I thought they made that specifically to take out.
Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah.
Now, that is a much more complicated reason.
Okay, we're not. Okay, obviously, all these things, community noted, hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully.
I don't know if
I
they
haven't, I
are.
haven't seen any.
It got too loud that everybody was like, they're making hurricanes.
Yeah.
Too many people were just like, yup, they're doing it. I'm like, yo, you know what that means? Like, if they're just doing that's terrible. We're talking terrible.
Yeah, not good.
That is like
Powerful.
very terrible.
Very
Yeah, that's what we're saying. I'm like, bro, that's wild that the amount of humans that are like, yeah, that's what it is.
Look it up.
Go ahead and you start Googling it.
I read
I'm
it.
done. I'm not getting in this.
In a book.
I assume there's good people out there. That's what I hope. I hope it's good people out there. That got loud, though.
Yeah, I assume there's not.
Well, you also, there's a couple other things you assume.
And most of them have been right.
What about pan diplomacy?
That's my point exactly.
Pandas?
You're right about that.
They're back in America.
So they say.
What do you think? They got recharged?
Yeah, back in America, 2 weeks before an election.
Okay.
Who's it help? Who's it help?
That is tough
Not
timing.
us.
Which side does it help?
Not us.
That's tough timing, to be honest.
Well, I think that was to go shake their hands.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's, let's go send out the pandas.
They could have waited
I doubt it.
a few weeks.
Dude, it is a crazy time to be alive. Every time I open my fucking phone, and I guess it's because it is this season, the commercials.
I couldn't do it
Boy.
last night.
Dude, the commercials.
I'm starting to really like them.
The shit I'm learning about these people. Jeez Louise. It's every election season, I guess, but this one is heightened seemingly because all hands on deck everywhere, let's go. It's like I'm learning a lot about a lot of people. Is there any, like, there should be a rebuttal at some point. You know, like, I understand that they make commercials trying to tear somebody down, but at some point with these national ads, they should want to answer some of these questions. Because I'm just hearing.
They should.
I'm hearing like 6 things, and then there's no answer. It's like, well, are they ever going to say anything? And then their commercial comes
Yeah.
up, and it's not an answer.
Right.
It is.
We fight fire with fire.
Bingo. And I'm like, damn, is that person going to? Never do. They never answer, seemingly.
Never.
And it's just like horrendous, worse, somehow even more despicable. Doesn't show up. Who cares? We're dead. Yada. I'm like, let's get back to the game.
Yeah,
You know, like, that's the
exactly.
commercial breaks.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
like, holy shit. This is a tough time to be alive, brother.
Yeah, they never get answered. To me personally, Joe Donnelly's still Mexico Joe because he couldn't not stop going down there, and that was from 2018.
Nobody's going to give us credit for that, ever. Our show, long before we were licensed through ESPN, we were just a tiny little regional show on the internet. We knew that Joe Donnelly had no shot.
Yeah.
Because in Indiana, every night, the television for 3.5 hours was letting me know everything terrible Joe Donnelly did.
Yes.
And Joe Donnelly would respond. I'm getting choked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Donnelly would respond in an RV saying, I'm hitting the road. I'm coming to see you guys.
Yep.
And then the next one, did you know that Joe Donnelly actually slept through a meeting with bye, that hurt you? And there was a picture of him like sleeping up.
Sleepy Joe Donnelly.
3.5 hours every night, seemingly, of commercials for a month straight.
At least.
And it started like, I literally would start the show with like, Joe Donnelly's got to do something.
Yeah.
Joe Donnelly's got to do something, this guy. He didn't. And then it was like a big, here's him in the RV. He would pop up on the screen after 10 straight hit pieces on this guy. And he'd go, hey, guys, I'm in my RV.
Go on vacation.
Come on, guys. I'm going to see you. And it was like, there's a lot of other things, but I don't know if now's the time to hit the road.
Yeah.
I think you need to hit the PR desk.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost, and that was a big announcement. Surprising overturn, Joe Donnelly lost. It's like, guy didn't have a chance.
Surprising. No.
That's what these commercials are. The political commercials should be monitored a little bit.
They suck.
They're so bad.
So much money.
So much money, and they're so
Just
bad.
all cash.
They're informative.
Oppo research. Don't they call it Oppo research?
I learned a lot.
When they said there's bad, they give them all the bad info.
I've learned a lot.
Tony's been swung.
I have.
Oh, congrats.
Tony, I think you're not alone. I think there's probably there's nobody that has swung. I think everybody has been in their
Nobody's
vote.
changing anything.
That's our dumb opinion.
No, they got some.
I was swung.
Got some bangers. They got some one-liners.
Let me tell you
I
which
get a
one
pop
exactly,
from
but-
a couple of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so if you get a laugh, it's like, maybe.
Okay, I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Valid point. Let me open the door. That's what they're thinking they're doing when they put these commercials out.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, this will sway one voter. And it's like, you don't even sway the voter. You just have one voter go, oh.
The undecided. They're trying to get the undecided voter.
And then all of a sudden, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
And I forget completely about it. It's great. Shout sports. Shout sports.
Oh, yeah, sports.
My algorithm, though, is hearing these commercials, I think.
Yeah.
It's starting to dabble in my phone. Hey, Tim Cook, figure it out. I'm done with it, Tim. I'm done with it. I am fucking done with it.
Yeah.
We've had to live in this Apple world with Tim Cook in charge for a long time.
Sure.
You've done great things, made a lot of money for Apple. He said he's never been a part of a group text that had a name before. He was doing an interview, didn't even know you could name group text messages.
Really?
Didn't even know it.
You can't admit to that.
Especially if you're the guy running the company.
Yeah, he's an old guy.
That's an old. That's what 15 years, 10 years ago. Naming a group. That's a long time ago. Like, hey, why don't you use the phone once, Tim? Then maybe we can get some of these, issues sorted. Because at the top you can kind of move these things. He doesn't even know what the fucking phone does.
He's not friends.
Well, he has college roommates.
Yeah.
And their name of their group text now is roommates. It's like that's not even a creative name. I thought we were gonna be creative here.
Well,
Not even roomies?
This is a droid guy.
He was asked the best name of a group chat. He looked at me like I'd asked him to recommend the best Android phone. The best name? He said. I don't name them. Do you name yours? Interesting. I may take that on. Oh, Tim, I hate to break to you, this guy didn't discover naming group text messages. The next time we met, Cook proudly reports that he's named the group chat with his college roommates. Roommates. Hey, Tim.
He lied.
That's a weak name.
What a dork.
Not creative at all.
Yeah.
He's definitely not an innovator. He's not innovating.
Read a couple Steve Jobs quotes, Tim. Okay, unless you painted up the walls whenever you took over the entire thing.
Roomies would have
Probably
been better
did.
than that.
He should have said he renamed his group text like "fuck Jobs," something cool like that. Steve's a bitch.
Oh,
something like a little more like spiteful or something.
Listen, I am a fan of Steve Jobs. One of his biggest. Bad dad. I get it.
Sure.
Okay, there's been a lot of documentaries and movies in this entire thing. But when you're talking about forward thinking, changing the world completely, this guy, and then his speeches of leadership and how you should view the world. I have quotes literally around the office, at my house, everywhere about Steve Jobs being like, yeah, go do it. Yeah, go do it. And then I hear Tim Cook say, I didn't even know you could name the group text. I'm fucking done with it. You got me trapped in here, Tim. Okay? Figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Gumpy, how do you feel about your iPhone experience?
Since I took out my SIM card and switched to the eSIM, it seems to be working fine. I had 2 SIM cards in there somehow, which was sweet.
Well, that'll do it.
That's a Tim Cook move.
What?
Yeah, it was awesome.
You got a jailbroken iPhone.
I think that's a Canada move.
Yeah, it was. So
It's definitely
since it was a
Canada's been
Canada
tracking you.
phone, it didn't have the eSIM. It had the old SIM card. So I had to switch, and then they canceled my phone for whatever. It was, it was well done.
I
all
can't
around.
connect the internet on my
No,
phone.
it's still going. Like
I'll connect
that.
the internet, and then it'll kick me off internet, and then I'm on internet, and then it'll halfway load, And then text. This thing's supposed to be smart. It's dumb. It's getting dumber.
The new one has got
Mine goes SOS every once in a while too.
Yeah, well, that's a whole bigger story.
What?
That was happening, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be pretty worried.
Oh, that was a thing for a lot of people.
Well, the way you said that, I'm immediately thinking that.
Oh, yeah.
They're just testing it. One day we'll all go SOS and we'll be shit out of luck.
Save our
Let's just say take a bunch of cash out.
Get your walkie-talkie.
All right. Okay. Toilet paper's just fine.
You got to think about it. You got to think about it.
The only thing I need to think about is football continuing to make me happy.
Yeah.
And my family make me happy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you guys, getting to see you every day,
Hell yeah.
lifting my spirits. Because if you get stuck in an algo and that thing starts going the wrong direction, I don't know how some people get out of there.
I know.
You don't.
They don't. A lot of people get stuck.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's just one after another. These political things, bang, one after another, bang, one after another, bang, one after another, and I'm like, what?
A lot of people, it's their identity. That's who they are. Like yelling at their phone about politics.
It's kind of Elon right now, actually.
Dude, he's wide open here.
Stakes are high, brother.
Stakes are high. For him, it's the biggest of all time.
Yeah.
So then you'll scroll. Speaking of Elon, his app, you scroll, you find it, and then somebody just gets shot in the back of the head.
Yep.
That's just back on the internet again. Remember, they stopped that for a bit.
Yeah, the deadly fights and things.
I haven't seen any of those lately. Death videos.
Shot in the back of the head.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I don't want those around.
I'd rather have the politics stuff.
What's that?
I'd rather have it than the politics stuff.
Okay. Me too, brother. No, I wouldn't want any of them. Sports.
You got to do the
interested
in
football.
It's work for me.
Costco guys.
Boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
They put out a remix yesterday.
Another.
It's the same song, but they just
dance.
once again have just pledged their allegiance to the Yankees.
There's no Rizzler though, so it doesn't count.
This the new
It
dance, right?
stinks.
Isn't this the new dance?
I don't like that.
That's one of them.
AJ was doing that quite a
Then they do this one. Yep. They've added a few different
Turn 'em,
iterations.
turn
Yeah.
it, turn it,
Bring
turn
the
it.
boom.
That's what we do.
And still with the feet.
The feet crossy.
Yeah, still crossing with the feet.
I saw mom. Mom wasn't doing it. She was doing this one, I think.
Mom's got to go back to the drawing board when it comes to dancing. But
You think
everybody
maybe mom's drawing them all up.
else- No, I don't think she. I don't think she's
taught
got
him.
down.
We
quite
know
yet.
who the fucking dictator is.
Okay.
It's one voice.
You talking about Big
there's that
Costco?
One band, one sound over there,
There's
buddy.
another one.
Oh, that's a good one. Wait,
See,
mom's selling the shit out of that.
yeah, mom's got
the
that
moves.
one, but that's the only one.
He's got those AQ shoes on.
Yeah,
He's
got
jacked.
cocaine
He's
wear.
jacked too, though.
He's a professional wrestler.
good
Of
one.
course, he's jocked.
Oh, so it's not the cross; it's the foot out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of back there. Yeah, like a back a little
That's a
bit.
good one.
Yeah.
That's
Come
a
on,
good one.
mom. Pop, pop, pop.
Look at those.
Oh, there it is.
That's the one.
Jack.
So are they all standing behind camera,
Yeah,
Yeah.
motivating,
singing.
singing?
Yeah.
Boom! That's what we do.
We bring the boom.
To you.
No, fucking step. Yeah, and then there's some advice.
Fucking smile.
Eat the fucking chicken bake.
You're stepping on the wrong. God damn it.
Guys, that's not. They're very.
Oh man, I want some behind the scenes footage.
This is
That'd
a
be
You
amazing.
know,
gimmick.
AJ,
That'd be
you know.
amazing.
No, you don't.
Please.
Where's
all
the
the rest?
goddamn Rizzler?
What are we
You can't
talking
make a
about?
video without the Rizzler.
Rizzler's
That
fucking
has
throwing
no
out the
Riz.
first pitch.
That
guys-
video has no Riz.
You guys might be right with the amount of testosterone that's coursing through AJ's blood.
God, fuck!
You talking about Big Costco?
Yeah, big Costco.
Big Costco has a gimmick that is cracked through. Okay, the whole family.
I was saying he's super jocked.
I can't wait to see what he does in the ring. Remember, we saw him in that backyard. He was going off the top. He had
yeah.
suplexes, had a diving lariat. If he does a Canadian destroyer in his return, I will lose my shit. I will absolutely lose. The Canadian destroyer is also known as the original. Everybody started doing it. Devastating move. Adam Cole did it to me, actually. Called it the Panama Sunrise or something like that. You jump and then flip, bang. Could you imagine Big Costco fucking front flip, pile driver, basically? Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Because he has to. Because he has to.
Yeah.
He has to bring the boom.
Yep. That, or I'd love to see him maybe implement a little Shane O'Mac, Jeff Hardy, like jump off like a 12-story building and bring the boom on somebody.
Easy.
If he goes up against Bob Osby, he's got no chance though. So just
Who's Bob?
Bob Osprey?
Who's that?
Yeah, right off there. He's gonna bring the boom to you, and then boom, just
Dead.
I don't know.
No way.
AJ, what are you talking
If he
about?
jumps off a high rise, yeah, he's dying.
No, he's not.
He's going to be dead.
Not if he aims for the
He's dead.
Yeah, aim for the bushes.
Aim for the bushes. He's good.
That was so.
It's about a 70-story building back there.
Well, he said 12. This is Indiana. There's no 70 stories.
Yeah.
This is Indiana. This one's the one, I think, Salesforce.
Salesforce.
Yeah,
that's
that one's like
Salesforce.
15.
Oh,
15
boy.
maybe.
Right off
Go
the
up
top.
to the tip.
This is actually the only thing you can see this right here through the window of the Lucas Oil Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
We found that out this weekend as we were looking up at the window because it was the only thing open. And we go, Jumbotron just needs to go there. And I was like, why did they put it in there? Because it was going to have a good view. And then everybody in the stadium, I guess except for the top side, I guess they could see everything else because they can look down. Everybody else is just looking up into a sky. And then you see the top of the Salesforce, 2 tips just kind of sticking up the bottom. Kind of little friends having
Is that the smallest Jumbotron in the NFL?
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Is it original to the stadium?
I think so, yeah.
It's original to the city.
They brought it over.
That's the thing,
with the
though.
Baltimore Colts. Yeah. They did.
Maybe.
Whatever you put in, though, whatever kind of Jumbotron you put in, the next year, the technology has already gotten better and better. But, yeah, you got to keep up.
Especially with what these college teams are doing, these places. Their stadium experience is insane.
Yeah.
Spending $1 million on that? That seems less.
Who owns the college? Do the colleges obviously own the stadiums? I would imagine most of them.
Yeah, I would
Or the
think.
state university.
Yeah.
Probably the stadium. Remember, if it was on campus, the stadium, you couldn't serve beer. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you can.
Now it's wide open here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, now so half that beer price is going so we can get a quarterback next year.
That's right.
You want to get drunk and watch a bad football team and help? Come watch us.
Mm-hmm.
Taking half of your $10 beer and send it into the future of this here program.
Deal.
It would be fun to be a college coach, but also the worst.
The worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Yep.
the worst.
I think the worst.
It would only
I
be.
think a lot of them are trying to get to the league, too.
What's that, Bub?
I think a lot of college coaches are, if an opportunity opens up in the NFL, they will jump at it.
Well, if they have an opportunity to get to the league, they're going to have a high football IQ, which leads us to, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Everything DB, Good D, Bad D with Darius Butler.
Let's start with the Super Bowl champs now. Similar to last year. Kansas City right now winning with defense. Patrick Mahomes isn't playing Patrick Mahomes football just yet. We expect him to pick him up at some point. But this Spags defense absolutely flying around. Big part of the Spags defense are the DBs. Number one, great in the run game, have been all year long. But watch Justin Reed obviously turn Brock Purdy over 3 times this weekend. Coming out of the post, let's run it a little bit back. There we go, boom. So obviously going to have a play action fake from under center. And I want you to watch George, the left defensive end, 5'6". You'll see him play this, great discipline. And now it's going to be very important for him to pull up, make Brock Purdy pull up in the pocket, not be able to step into this throw. Now, great break out of the post from Justin Reed, but he has to pull up early. You can see after the throw, kind of ducks out of the way. Great job by Justin Reed. Once he kind of pulled that trigger back, pulled his hand back to throw it, it was too late to kind of pull off of it. I think it was great coverage. It was a great break. I don't think in any world George Kittle's going to be able to catch this football, but George does a great job off the edge. What's his last name?
Karlaftis.
There we go, Karlaftis.
He's from Purdue.
Yeah, he's
Purdue.
I think his brother's
Great job right
First
there.
rounder.
Almost looks like a practice, a drill rep, 5'6", being disciplined on the backside. And once again, forcing Brock Purdy to pull up. You'll see it better from this angle after this throw, how he kind of ducks out of there, not stepping into it.
Look at his change of direction, too, for such a big dude, man.
Almost
He's
gets
good.
it.
Yeah, get a hand up, get a left up, get that boom, foot in the ground, gets vertical, Juice can't even get hands on him. Bam.
Give me
Great
that.
job coming out of the post. We know how huge turnovers are, especially when your offense isn't as explosive as you would like it to be.
Shanahan's record against some of these D coordinators,
Not good.
Spags, Flores, and Schwartz.
Yep.
I guess there was a stat, not great.
Not great. And it starts, obviously, when you're playing against a good defense. You want to have balance. You want to have a run game. Weeks 4 through 7, so since week 4, this defense has been out allowing 13.7 points a game and I think a little under 64 yards per game on the ground. So, obviously, that's really, really good for a Spags defense.
Hell yeah, it is.
And now, talking about college coaches jumping to the NFL, Jeff Hafley, who Ty called him the
best defensive coordinator in the history of the NFL.
Okay, in the history of the NFL was not an overreaction. You got X-Men down here, Xavier McKinney. Obviously started off the season with 5 interceptions in a row. Didn't get a pick this game. Big-time blitz coming off the edge. After the blitz, want to run it back one more time from the beginning. This is what we call a simulated pressure. So right now, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, double mug look. Been talking about a lot with Flores' defense. 7 guys up there. 3rd and 6. 3 of these guys are going to drop out. You only get a 4-man rush, and you get a free hitter off the edge. They actually drop into a cover 2. So you're taking away, you'll see number 7, Walker. He's going to take away that deep middle. Corners get out to the flat. Safeties get to the deep half. So CJ is expecting some type of pressure. No actual blitz comes. It's only a 4-man rush, but you get a free hitter because of the 7-man. You see Schultz trying to kind of look to him late. It's too late. Blindside hit. Great job by Xavier McKinney.
Why doesn't everybody run these amoebas?
And a great job from Xavier McKinney getting home. I mean, it's great. When you can execute it and you can actually get a free hitter home when not sacrificing any of the coverage guys, I mean, it's a great, great job by Jeff Hafley here. Big 3rd down, too, and that sack, pretty much knocked you out of any potential, even a long field goal attempt.
I think they averaged minus 0.6 yards per play on 3rd down during that game. Packers got after him all day.
Do you remember hearing Ty the last 3 years?
I did.
About this Packers defense? Mm-hmm. So mad. Well, of course, our offense is going to yada, 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 but the defense, once again, whenever you don't think they can let you down any more than they already have, they go out there and you fucking Then finally they try to make a change, and they do make a change at DC to a guy that we hadn't heard of. Then Sherms comes out and says, this guy's good. He's been a game changer for you guys.
Yeah, without a doubt. And he's done the stuff that he said he's going to do from the get-go. He said, hey, we're going to be really aggressive on defense. We're going to play a lot of man-to-man. Like last year, the last several years, the Packers, 3rd and 6, 3rd and long, they played 10, 12 yards off the ball and just gave up an easy 1st down every single time. Super soft coverage. They haven't done any of that stuff this year. And they've, when in a game like this, when Jordan Love wasn't great in the first half, turning the ball over a couple times, they needed the defense to step up big time, and they did.
All right, let's talk about another great year.
Almost as good as a turnover. Now, another great year. Brian Branch, probably leader in the clubhouse right now for Defensive Player of the Year. I'm always lean towards
really? How's the AP vote?
Hey, I'm going to lean towards those DBs heavy. How do you feel about this guy?
He's up there.
Okay.
Oh, because TJ Watt exists.
What do you mean?
Defense Player of the Year, we're talking you with an AP vote. There's no way it's going to anybody but TJ Watt, which is part of the problem.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, what about Kyle Van Noy?
Yeah, what about Kyle Van Noy? Sacking every game?
Yeah. What's that look?
You're an AP voter.
You can't look at legitimate candidate like that.
Listen, it's not TJ right now, I can tell you that. But it's also not that guy.
Jeez.
All right, well, this
Kyle
is my
Van Noy's friend of the program.
Yeah, and he's an unbelievable football player.
That guy, that's unbelievable. The disrespect.
Yeah, what am I saying?
But Brian Branch right here, you see Terrion Arnold running over with the motion, running back. Now everybody will see after the play action, Aaron Jones is wide ass open up to the flat up top. But that's neither here nor there. Sam Darnold, after the play action, he tries to throw this crossing route. Arnold does a great job communicating to Branch. Hey, help me, cross. You see Kirby Joseph kind of dropping into the middle as a hole. And now watch Brian Branch putting his foot in the ground. I mean, watching this dude play, it's like a Madden user player. Like, that's how I feel watching him play. The catches he makes, the tackles he makes, the when he has the ball in his hand. Coming out of college, he did everything well. He tackled well. He covered well. He was a return guy, so he had great ball skills. It's a great job anticipating breaking and then laying full out and making the catch. Big turnover. Obviously, this game came down to a last-second field goal, so every play, every stop mattered. He also had a huge stop on a 2-point conversion, which was an unbelievable play as well.
Brian Branch is a player.
He's a dog. He is an absolute dog. I know Foxy loves him.
Love him.
And an Aaron Jones touchdown, too.
Yeah.
Was that Rodriguez in the middle? He got picked trying to go get him.
Yeah, Aaron Jones, running back here, who runs up and says, "What are we doing?" He goes, and Sam Bradford goes, "Yeah, you're gonna be wide open." Or not Sam Bradford. Geez, I'm sorry. God, Sam Darnold.
He's a player.
Touchdown.
Yeah, boom.
Man.
Rodrigo. Traffic. Little traffic here.
That's a touchdown.
That's 6.
But I mean, from if you don't see that overhang safety back there, you probably see from the back copy, Addison looks wide ass open too, coming across the middle of the field. But once again, you got to, feel or see that color back there. Yep.
Best safety duo in the league there with him and Kirby Joseph.
Let's relax.
That's not bad. They got 4 picks apiece.
A lot.
Yeah. You know what?
Bunch.
Yeah. Put him at the top. Put him at the top of the park.
I like that.
Let's relax here.
They're up there. We got some good ones.
We just talked about Xavier McKinney's Epoch. Evan Williams has been unbelievable.
I mean, look, I value the ball. We always talk about the ball is what? Ball program. Okay, you got an offense like that. You get them extra possessions. Yeah. Best tandem in the league right now.
McKinney has 5 picks.
Williams got a couple too.
Marlon Humphrey.
Ball is the program.
Hey, ball is the program. Speaking of Marlon Humphrey, his second interception of this quarter. Now, he got injured, I believe, on this play. Great job. If we pause it here, I always talk about underneath defenders, flat defenders, playing thing high to low. So he gets a little light reroute here, but flips his hips, gets the width. If you pause it here, so it's no stress on him. For a quarterback. Now, this is obviously 3rd and long, second quarter, right before the 2-minute drill. Probably just try to get greedy here, get some points. You got to see right now the defender's taking away the high throw. Wiggins even has visions where he's going to have a good break. But Humphrey's taking away the high throw. You just got to take the dump down and just force Ravens to make the tackle, and make him get off the field. Baker Mayfield does not. He gets greedy. Marlon Humphrey makes an amazing catch. He had another one in the end zone prior to this in the second quarter. But great job by Marlon Humphrey. Been around the league for a while, understands the high-low concepts. You take away the high one. If he throws it, you got to make him pay.
Look at this.
Look at this catch.
Look at the strength of the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping that up. While falling
but
down.
Also,
think about how awkward that
Humphrey's
is.
not scared, though. Think about that. He's dropping. He's not scared to make that open field tackle if Baker does dump it down. That's the thing. A lot of corners, they'll stick to the. You don't want to be stuck in a bad situation, 3rd and 13.
Yeah.
Where you got to make an open field tackle where the guy's a 5-way go on you.
To AJ's point, if you go back to the wide copy, So once Otten gets to this flat, a lot of times that's a running back, that's a tight end. If you pause it here, you get that dump down. You want to break, and that's why in zone coverage it's so important that you get out with a sense of urgency. And everybody, you see all those underneath guys, they got vision on the quarterback. So the overall idea of a zone defense, you invite the check down, you invite the underneath throw, and guys rally and tackle with leverage. So if he does dump it down, if he does dump it down, Humphrey's coming outside in. I believe that's Roquan. He'll be coming inside out, and then you have Wiggins kind of filling the alley. So you take your shot, you don't break down. That's the perfect zone coverage, and this is obviously better if they actually throw into you in a great drop.
Great defense there around the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Humphrey, the power to be able to hold that ball while you're falling on your face. He just jumped and falling on your face. That had to be incredibly uncomfortable. Congrats to him making huge plays. Now let's do some bad defense.
Yeah.
How about a bad play? What team are we going to go to?
We only got one. Got one bad defense.
Oh, the Giants.
New York Giants. And there was some big plays that happened on the edge this weekend. Good offensive run teams are going to force your DBs to tackle out on the edge. So if you run it back a little bit, the formation, you see A.J. Brown up there with a cut split, and the corner is in a press. Now, the good thing about press in the pass and coverage, I can get hands on them. I can disrupt the route. I can disrupt timing. Bad thing about the press is when you get a crack block, it's hard to differentiate if it's a crack block or a crossing route. So you can get caught up there, and when you're going to crack that safety as a receiver and you have a corner and press, you end up a lot of times getting 2 for 1. So you end up getting a corner and the safety because the corner has to react late, and by the time he reacts, you got that center out there who replaced Kelsey. He pulled and did an amazing job on this play. He'll seal the edge, and then Saquon Barkley's out of there.
No. And Mara's up there going.
That's big Jurgens, right? Cam Jurgens?
Yep.
That's his name? Yeah.
That was Jurgens up there.
Yeah.
That was Mara.
If you show this from the tight copy, Wes gives you a great job snapping it and getting out there on the edge. But once again, if you are on that edge, same thing kind of happened on the Aaron Jones big run that happened after the fake punt. Crack block. Now, he was off, so you got to replace Terrion Arnold. He'll learn from that as a young corner. You got to replace. When you're impressed, almost impossible to replace, especially when the big athletic centers out there.
A.J. Brown lowering the shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Doing some dirty work.
Bring the boom.
Saquon's out.
He bring the boom.
And A.J. Brown has been the best receiver in the NFL when targeted in one-on-one coverage.
Yeah, most yards per game, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see him on AP Tone's Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, why
He's
is
banged up.
that? I
He doesn't
wonder.
qualify. Yeah,
Banged up. Playing enough
amount of plays.
You got to play at least how many plays?
75% or something like that.
Okay.
Nico's been out.
Thank you, Darius.
Yeah, but he still leads the league in yards.
I'm D-Butt.
Appreciate you, fellas.
Do you want to do a contest giveaway?
Let's do it.
You might as well shoot a basketball since you're so hot right now.
Oh, we are the champs after how many weeks? 2, 3?
2.
Who cares? The champs.
3. It's been 3 weeks.
2. This would be.
No, yeah, 3 weeks it's been.
2.
I think everything kind of blends together because it's football season. I think your time's kind of blending together. We've been champs for a long time.
2 strong weeks.
Is that cashmere? What is that?
It's
D-Butt?
wool.
Sweet.
It's wool. It's 80 degrees outside. Just wanted in the South Florida Hall of Fame because of how he can handle heat, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That is the.
Nice.
You doing a stage shot? No, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. I will say Connor and D-Butch put on a shooting performance yesterday that,
40 ages.
Bode well going into the season.
It was very nice. It was. Wasn't it, Foxy?
Yeah, it was good. They started out hot, and we tried to catch them. I just didn't make shots in key moments, and that's the name of the game.
And they were looking out for each other. One person would miss, the other would make it. It's a big deal, especially whenever if you hit from every single spot, you get bonus shots. So it is a teamwork game, the 33.
Yep.
And the boys were making shots. They were making shots.
They were due.
I mean, they were clean, too.
Yep.
That was the sound. That was the net. Just clean net hits. Phenomenal. Connor, too, has got this stroke. He takes it up to the sky. And
Well, it's been bad. I've been shooting fucking line drives, and I finally found it again.
You got to shoot up, brother.
Yeah.
And yesterday you were doing that. And D-Butch, he actually
jump shot.
He actually jumps.
It's like real game.
And it's like, and that hits the net a little differently coming from that. You guys almost got caught yesterday. That was the best game you guys ever played in your whole fucking life.
No,
And we almost fucking
not even
got you.
close. Not even
Just want to let you know, we had our eyes out.
That wasn't even close to our best game.
That was your best game.
No, it wasn't.
We might have the Thunderdome record, actually.
No,
Yeah,
you did
we
not.
do. Yes, we do.
I hit 10 straight. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think you have the what are
You
you talking about?
individually do.
Yeah, Foxy won like 7 or 8 out of 10. You don't think we? Come on, you guys are champions. Let's not get ridiculous.
We do have the record.
Maybe
we do.
Yeah.
What is it? Just make up a number now? Is that
I
what
think
you
it's
did?
61.
Okay.
61.
You didn't know that. You guys just made that up. And
No,
that's
he
a good
didn't know
teammate.
that.
That's good teammate.
That's right.
That's why they're so damn dangerous out there on that court. D-Bone has struggled to find a good partner.
Yeah. He might be the problem.
Struggle to find a good shot.
Yeah.
Hey, Cuse, you didn't deserve that.
Yeah, Cush has been fine.
Well, it's funny because Q said the same thing about D-Bone.
What do you say?
I can't win with this guy. I can't play with this guy.
It's a great game.
It is.
It's a great game.
Yesterday's game was
If
awesome.
you could shoot a basketball, it's a great game.
What are you saying? Telling you don't have fun playing the game?
Well, no, I can't shoot a basketball, so
Why not? Having a shot is amazing.
I'm not strong enough to get it there.
It's because you don't work. To be clear, Tone does not work on it. Tone's got hammered Dahn, then he's got to edit, and then he's, doesn't have the time to work on his jumper. Connor, D-Butch, Foxy, they're putting up 100, 200 shots a day. They're warming up.
Connor never warms up.
I'm actually the only one that doesn't warm up anymore. It's sad.
You actually got me. You tried to fuck me yesterday, pause.
What's that?
You got me in mid workout. Hey, you gonna be able to play today? Upper body day.
I was feeling a little sore. I was trying to get every advantage I could. Turns out D-Butch shoots better mid-work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Upper body.
He was lathered up.
Won't do that again. I had a moment in between calls there. Had to get the game in. He didn't even have his shoes on. He was doing fucking body weight, I think, some stuff.
Classic.
All right, D-Butch.
Hawkeyes.
Are you going that way? Wemby's that way.
I mean, I don't know. Do you want to shoot it over one? How are you going to shoot it?
Is the tall guy in the way?
Wemby?
A little bit.
You talking about Wemby?
Oh, Wemby. Yeah, there you go.
That's Wemby Sr. Wemby Sr. had a good life. Wemby Sr. is the problem, though. That corner's shooting percentage has gone down since Wemby Sr. has arrived to the Dew corner. With that being said, D-Butch, you drop this stage shot in, moon shot, if you will. We'll give 25 people $500 to celebrate this beautiful Halloween season.
Boom.
All you got to do is put that ball into that hoop right over there, looking incredibly cool on this glorious everything DB, good D, bad D. Basketball. Oh,
Good bounce. Right back.
Basketball gods are saying, hey, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and put that in? 25 people, $500. Everything DB, good D, bad D.
Good looking shots, though. Both of them look good.
All over the daggum
Front
thing.
rim, back rim.
You know, I heard he wasn't that good of a shooter either.
Well, the issue with their
So flat.
their men's league that they were playing in the weekends, they just lost in the playoffs last week.
Yeah, terrible.
So he's coming into the Thunderdome with a little bit more vengeance, a little bit more, ruthlessness to shoot it. Needs to get better for next year. Boys are supposed to win or supposed to lose that game that you guys lost?
We were 9.5 point favorite.
No.
Oh no.
There's lines.
There's lines. There's action. We didn't show up. Team Cheese wanted it more. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to my guys, though.
They were defending champs.
You guys were defending champs?
Yeah.
We were defending champs. Undefeated.
How many shots you take?
last season.
D-But you need to be selfish. We need 30 shots from you.
We just came up short.
How many shots did you put up in the playoff?
I showed up.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me, he said.
Everybody else got to execute. Everybody else
I'll
needs
leave
to
it at
execute.
that.
Like some PED testing on Team Cheese down in Miami.
Yeah, Team Cheese is they're making buckets.
Yeah.
They showed up in the biggest stage.
A lot of energy on defense.
9.5 point dogs walking in, Team Cheese. All of a sudden, everybody's nose is running, but they're running too. Faster than everybody. Congrats to Team Cheese on a big-time win. Team Cheese, we'd like to let you know that D-Butt is coming into the Thunderdome this week on a mission.
Yep.
Trying to get better.
Yeah, thank you, Team Cheese.
And if you're able to bury this particular moonshot, D-Butch, we'll give 25 people $500. All you got to do is put that ball from this stage over Wemby Sr. into that hoop.
Oh,
a little bit too strong there. Oh, no.
Went for the bank.
Is that on purpose, the bank, or not? Ball's flat. Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, A.J. Hawk, who's the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, has a message of motivation for our friend Darius J. Butler before he attempts the impossible, the moonshot. 25 winners of $500. AJ, what do you have to say to D-Butch?
I just want to know if D-Butt, has he registered to vote yet?
All right.
I have registered to vote.
Thank you.
I will rock the vote, vote or die.
And who will?
Whoa.
I thought they retired that one.
What's that?
You're talking about what Diddy said.
Well, I'll just vote.
Oh.
There you go. There you go.
Don't die, brother.
Is MTV
Don't
still
die.
doing Rock the Vote?
Rock the vote.
Pauly Shore there?
Rock
Yeah, I think it's
the vote.
Pauly Shore.
25 people, $500. All you got to do, D-Butch, is hit the moonshot here. Over Wemby Senior.
That was in, Butch.
He's juiced up. He's all juiced up.
Yes, he is. All right, D-Butch, listen, you're the champion of 33 here with you and Connor.
Switch
Change it up.
Here we go.
I love it.
A little fresh view, fresh taste. You look incredibly cool right now. Are you cool under pressure? 25 people, $500 if you're able to put that ball into that hoop over there. The moonshot. Uh-oh.
Man.
That's what happened. The cheese saw it happening.
Yep.
All right, we're just throwing now. Fuck it. Just throw some shit around. Sorry, bud.
Sorry, people.
Does that bode well for me and Foxy today in 33?
Yeah.
Find
I
out.
think so too.
We will find
Yesterday, that would have splashed all of those. Splash.
all over.
Splash. Splash.
No rim.
Yesterday was insane. He was getting the ball. He was jumping fucking 35 inches in the air. Whack. Splash. It was unbelievable. Thought some people were going to win because of it today, but instead, we look ahead to tomorrow.
That's right.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Yeah.
Huge.
You know why?
Why's that?
Because it's the next day.
Yeah, it is.
All set.
J.J. Watt's coming on.
Nice.
He's got a lot to talk about.
A ton.
Sweet.
What was that?
A ton.
Got a text message today about some things J.J. wanted to hit on tomorrow. That was a 14 scroller, brother.
Not to mention he's trying to poach some Concave.
Yeah, there's a little issue about
yeah.
what's going on with TST right now. Seemingly, Concafa's culture has been questioned.
Oh, no.
Goodbye, Grella.
Whoa! Coach Gumps has already put his vote in.
Okay.
We are having a
highlight.
I agree.
I mean, he could come back. It's just not going to be, the price is going to be lowered after his antics.
Well, so that's Coach Gumpy's opinions. We are having a meeting of Concafa leadership about what Grella said and did on that particular Golazo show, where he basically told J.J. Watt, hey, if you want to pay me a little tiny bit more money.
Fuck Concafa.
Than what Concafa paid me. I'll come to your team and give me the captain band. Fuck these people. It's like,
what the hell?
What do you think this is, bub?
Wow.
Concafa rides. Okay, Grella? Yeah. We thought he was a pillar.
Cornerstone member.
And then what's he doing, Gumps? Why is he doing that to us?
You've known him longer than I have. I don't know what this is about, brother.
Me neither.
You guys go way back.
Can't trust him.
Way back.
Concafa leadership is having a Zoom call to speak about this. The Arena Boys will be represented, okay, in the call. Fosso will be obviously on the call. Breck and Jeff will obviously be on the call. We'll have Concafa ownership on the call as well. I think Dude Wipe's even stopping by saying, what the fuck's going on?
Miola coming?
We do need
What's old buddy's name again? What's old buddy's name? Just all we did was score goals. The very professional, handsome guy, big guy.
Stommer?
You talking about meat?
Thierry Henry?
No, you got Ty had a good. Here's a name for
No,
him.
the Indianapolis Outlaw.
Thomas
There
Sonner.
it is. Oh. Yeah, he was awesome.
Sonner was a dog.
Sonner is a dog.
The Indianapolis Outlaw.
Sonner just scores goals.
That's all he does.
That's all
Yeah.
he does. He has
He's a gamer.
a heel flick from Grella goal. It's like, Grella, what is this all about?
Grella's dead to me.
That Burnley team sucks, too. Sucks.
We don't need to start throwing.
They do.
Any
Beat the
shade.
shit out of them.
I just want to give out a point of caution here. You want to go into TST without the Italian stallion. You dig your own grave.
What are you talking about?
So-
Miola's going to be there.
Yeah.
Coach Miola is going to be here,
He's not,
hopefully.
he's not on the pitch.
Yeah,
Gonna open a spot for Gump,
He
though?
might be,
Gump can
brother.
play.
Coach Miola's on every pitch.
The fuck?
Please, Jesus, in some form or fashion, he is inspired, influenced, or he's actually aura doing this entire thing. I believe Coach Miola is going to be in the Thunderdome here in a matter of weeks.
Okay.
I got a cold text from Paisan the other day saying, hey, how are you guys? Want to come see you at the Thunderdome sometime? See you soon.
Yes, please.
I go, grazie, prego. Do whatever you need to do. Well, come on over, Coach. But we might be one less Italian going into TST, depending upon a vote.
It's not a good idea.
Thank God.
Coach Gumpy has his vote, and he's been very loud about this Concava culture being questioned because I thought we were the tightest team in TST. Now, all of a sudden, one of our guys is like, I'm out here. What's the precedent?
Thought they were trying to fight each other every night.
One night, there was a little bit of a disagreement.
That's what brought us together, brother. That's what it's all about.
Well, dust up.
That was what.
Yeah.
Guess
that
what?
made us
Guess
better.
what? It wasn't about money. That's what it wasn't
No,
about.
it was about pride. It was about showing up.
It's about the game, brother.
Bro's got none of it.
It was about Concava. What's Gorilla saying?
Gorilla's
Talk about it. I don't have a vote.
No concave.
That is what he's saying.
Kind of what he's saying.
We'll talk about it. There's a leadership meeting happening. The future of Concava depends upon it, obviously. What precedent are we setting? How are we going to respond to this? We'll see. Star players are going to be star players. Yeah. But on Concava, are they? I don't know. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have a decision on that.
A lot of free agents out there.
Funny.
Gumpy's been trying to replace Grella.
Yeah, it's big time.
I don't like what he's doing.
Gumpy's been the loudest, I will say. Called Grella this morning, let him know of the process that's about to take place. There is a leadership meeting at Concava to vote on what you did and what the future looks like for you in a Concava, TARP, and everything like that. And Gump says, is that scumbag Grella? That's what Gumpy's saying back.
Gumpy's been the most angry?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Well, I don't know. I haven't talked to the rest. We'll see.
Yeah.
We got a leadership council meeting, obviously.
What's that about, Tony?
It's unlike you to be angry.
It's not.
What are we betting on today, boys? Should I hammer it down?
Well, we got 16 NHL games. Apparently, the NBA.
Frozen frenzy.
Tonight, ESPN.
Bucci. Bucci.
Apparently, the NBA starts tonight. There's a party in the QSA tonight as well.
Which is, of course,
The UTEP boys
college
are
football.
back on the football
Conference
field
USA
tonight.
parties on Tuesdays and Wednesdays until MACtion starts. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay, can't wait. That's Hammer Dahn on in about 15 minutes.
Also, the Champions League's happening.
Champions
right now.
League, obviously. MLS, I think
I saw Christian Pulisic.
Oh, hold the
MLS
phone.
playoffs start tonight. Yeah.
MLS, the Audi Cup starts tonight. My apologies, it took this long to get here. The wild card round starts tonight for the MLS Cup.
Messi playing?
Messi, they broke the points record, broke everything. The winner of Atlanta-Montreal tonight will play Inter Miami in the first round.
Good luck to both those teams. I'm gonna just fall asleep.
You gotta be kidding me.
I don't like it. I don't like that happened.
Standing up, too. You were standing up. You almost fell asleep.
Disrespect for the MLS Cup.
That wasn't your fault.
All year to get to this.
It was a wild card. I think you'd be just saying, this one doesn't actually matter. All right. Good luck to everybody.
Winner plays Messi.
Thanks, Gump.
Winner does play Messi.
Winner does get Messi.
Maybe this is why Grell is doing what he's doing. The disrespect to the beautiful game.
I'm not disrespecting.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm not disrespecting.
Now you're defending Grella.
We're paying tribute to that beautiful
Yeah, maybe I had a change of heart just now.
I didn't mean to. I yawned and my eyes were shut. I didn't like it.
Well, Gumpy threw it in there like, oh, yeah, also they got this.
You know what? Maybe Concava doesn't ride anymore. Maybe that's how ownership feels.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Whoa.
Who cares?
Maybe. Maybe Concava never rides again.
Come on, Coach Gump.
We got people trying to get in a bidding war. How about no bidding war for anybody ever? There's a chance that's what comes out of ownership council meeting.
You had a fun summer.
Ooh, it was fun.
It was one fun summer.
There's a chance. I'm not saying that is going to happen. All options are on the table.
We'll always have Carrie.
I mean, knowing us, everything the first time is usually fun. Every time after that.
Radio Row's good. Radio Row's
Radio
good.
Row's
That's
great
different.
every time.
The draft is always good.
That's the Super Bowl, huh?
That's
is.
both of these
sports.
things you guys are talking about is the NFL, is football.
Draft
Question
has
is-
been different damn near every year.
Do you want to spend 10 days in Cary, North Carolina?
We gotta try and win it, dude. We gotta fucking win it, man. We gotta try and win this fucking tournament, dude.
Are you saying, hey, don't view what's happening with a guy you thought was locked down in the foxhole with you, with Concava? Don't view that as the soccer universe telling you, maybe.
You got guys opting out.
Maybe you go on a nice vacation instead.
Maybe take the week off with the wife.
Maybe. Go to Hawaii with your daughter and your wife.
You think that's what the soccer gods are saying? All options are on the table.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying Concava ownership feels that way. But I'm saying it is potentially popping up, isn't it? In the conversation.
Feels like it could
That's
be.
why the leadership council has to beat.
Think
soon.
about the boys.
I loved it. It's not me. What are you talking about?
A lot of the boys on the team, I feel like this is all they have.
No, that's not true at all.
It might be.
Meat?
No.
Meat's got a whole fucking arena league. He's just got to dominate.
I thought
Gordo, Derek,
the Indianapolis psychopath.
Thomas Sonner. I think he's managing well for
I was going to
that
say,
guy.
the Outlaw is probably doing really well.
Our team's stacked.
Sure.
Jeff and Breck, they got the ground training facility down there in Miami. It's open.
Red boots.
Oh,
he's got a good
I'm sure
side
he's wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, sure,
somewhere.
they golf on the weekends, but they hate golf.
Old Red Boots is doing just fine.
Yeah.
I also like
Old Red
Grella
Boots.
on this program, so I hope we can figure this thing out.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's why I hope leadership is okay with everything.
Same.
Well, you can't have guys opting out when you're operating at a massive loss.
All right. There's a lot of signs in there. Seems like the
Good
world's-
luck on that Zoom. Good luck.
What was that a joke about?
that WNBA.
Oh,
Tone.
I didn't get it.
Why don't they all just go in that league where you get paid like $500K guaranteed?
I mentioned that. That's like at the time of that, with the time of this, it seems like there's a chance. But the NBA and the WNBA are releasing that stat about we lost $40 million in the red this year, just so you know. And we're like, wow, that's an interesting stat to be made public. And then 2 days later, WNBA Players Association says they're opting out of the deal, looking for more money. It's like, oh, that's why that number was put out. Okay. So this is a big standoff.
Yeah.
Isn't it? This is going to be a big standoff. And I'll tell you what, wherever the money goes, I hope they put a little bit more money to the refs. They're saying the refs are bad in the finals. Who would have predicted that the WNBA refs were bad? Who would have predicted that the Liberty would have went on to win it all? Who would have predicted that Caitlin Clark would have been able to figure it out and probably have more assists than she's ever had in her entire life because now she's playing with better players than she's ever played with? Who would have predicted any of these things? Who would have seen any of this coming? I don't know.
Nobody.
And now they're going to potentially lose it?
Yeah, fold the league.
They're just going to run fives in Cambridge.
Figure it out over there.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Yeah, what if it does just become American Globetrotters? Or, American Globetrotters. Maybe it is. Not even the Harlem Globetrotters. The American Globetrotters. It's Caitlin Clark, a few others, traveling around, taking on the Washington Commanders.
Yep. It'd sell out every arena.
Carolina Panthers would sell out every single arena. Come watch Caitlin Clark and friends play basketball. It'd be like, all right, filled up completely. Have full entrances, obviously.
Yeah.
Signings. Business would be good.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
What if that's what the NBA pitches back? All right, we're done with the league too.
Yep.
You guys aren't getting paid enough. It's be rude to do that. This is what we're thinking. Caitlin Clark and your team play in your city one night a week. And then we just kind of put this thing on.
Rotating.
Deal? Yeah. Deal. Because there is one that is the business. AJ, I'm not getting into it again. Not getting into it.
No, we'll figure it out.
I'm not getting into it. I'm not getting into it.
We'll figure it out.
They will. They will. Too much positive momentum not to.
Yep.
I think. Personally.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Hope it continues. All right. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Good night.